What's the deal, my people? You know this, Don Tony Teflon. I am back at you another video, and I am here on an earlier tip, and it's not for any other reason that the NBA playoffs is on. Obviously, my Knicks are one game away from winning the championship, so I have no choice. I have no choice but to watch this game. All right, it's been 50-something years since the Knicks ever won the championship. But Don has no choice but to watch it, so I will not be able to go on live later. But I am going to go live now because I'm going to talk to you. I have not been able to talk to y'all for a little bit. And I just wanted to say what up to you before all the good stuff happens tonight when we actually clinch this thing and win this whole situation. That is what we're talking about here, right? So I'm here with my theory stream, and it's not really my theory stream; it's yours theory stream. We hear from you everything that you think is going to happen in the next couple episodes, or even the show in general as a whole, and we talk about it. We have a few people here. I'm sure that we're not going to have our normal amount of people here because this is just something I just do up here right now. But for the people who are here early, thank you. And if we have some people who are overseas, because usually we don't get a lot of overseas people, because we, especially across the pond friends, because it'd be different time zones and stuff like that. So let me say what up to some of the people who are joining us right now, man. Let's say what up. You goddamn right, Emma do. You know what I mean? You goddamn right. Nixon 5. Let's get it done. Let's get it done. Maddie's in the building, rocking with us right now. Our girl V is up in here, chilling with us right now. What's going on with you? China is up in here, rocking with us right now. My man Peter Griffin is always showing love, and he's up in here showing us some love and stuff without a shadow of a doubt. Anna is in the building, rocking with us right. A&I is in here rocking with us. Real is up in here rocking with us. We got Michelle is up in here. Dwayne is up in here. We got Solvents is in here, and No Context is in here rocking with us right now. With a bunch of people, more than I expected. Jeez, and the numbers keep growing. Make sure you hit that thumbs up for your boy on the way in. All right, make sure you hit the thumbs up for your boy on the way in. I would just before we get into it, and we're gonna get into it. You know what I mean? We will get into it. I promise you that. And I was on the set of the Gilded Age. They're shooting in Troy, New York. I took a little time from the track season in Saratoga to go over to Troy, New York, and see them shooting and film. I got there early before they were while they were dressing the set up, and I got to speak to a bunch of people in there, and I have some things that I can put out. Not yet, though. It's too early. They asked me not to, so I got to talk to some people behind the scenes, and they asked me not to put it out yet. So I will have those videos for you later. They're really quick ones. It's up like 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, and everything else. But it's very, when I go on these sets, and I'm on these sets and stuff, and I see what's going on in these sets, it just makes me realize that in the end, the Don Tony Teflon has no choice. I have no choice but to come out with my own show. Now, y'all may be saying that I have been working on the show for over a year. If you talk to Real, my man Real from Real Theories, he'll tell you straight up that I've pitched him an idea, and we've talked about working on the show together and stuff like that. And it didn't really, but I have always continued working on my show and stuff and everything else. But so it's nothing new. And it's not like I haven't done. I have written other shows. I've written stuff for YouTube that I was supposed to do, a show called Peoples that was supposed to be shot out here and stuff. But and people, when you're dealing with people who aren't professional actors and stuff, they shoot, and then after they shoot, then you can't find them. They're just living life, effing bitches or whatever they're doing. You know what I mean? So it's never been. But I've done this. I've written these things before. And this show that I've written the whole first pilot episode and everything else, and I think it's amazing. I think it's a really good show. I'm just working the mythology out to make sure everything is correct and it all lines up perfectly. And we're going to get this show out there, man. We're going to get this show out there. At least we're going to get a meeting to get this show out there. I promise you that. We're going to do it. Because when I say I'm going to do something, I do something. That's just the way I get down, man. I just don't say I'm going to get something popping and shit don't get popping. I'm telling you I'm getting this shit done. All right. And I'm very qualified to do this. You know why? Because I have reviewed so many shows for all these years. And I have seen exactly where these shows mess up, where they start off good, where they mess up from the beginning. I know it. I see it. I see it 100%. And I'm trying to tell you without a shadow of doubt that my show will not have any of those flaws in it, because I know their flaws. I've seen their flaws. I know what they did right. And I know what they sucked at. And I could do it just as good, if not better, than a lot of these people out there. Trust it down when I tell you this. I'm not bullshitting you. I'm not just saying say it. Dead ass about it. Getting this shit popping. This show would be ill. We're gonna get this show going. All right. What area you need actors? I'm in by Saratoga, New York, upstate New York area. All right there. That would be it. But all right, so that is what it is and everything else. But we'll talk more about that on a later date. I'm sure y'all don't want to talk about it. Y'all want to talk about from. All right. You want to talk about from. So let's do that. Let's talk about from. Now, my phone line is open, so you can always call me. Do I have the phone line number up? When y'all want me to pop the phone line number up, you let me know, and I'll pop the phone line number up. We're going to use my phone because Phil is obviously not here. It is just me rocking with you. All right, let's talk about this from situation and everything that we're dealing with in this episode, this series that we see. It seems like, when we see, and someone put in my comments, because I did a video about Tabitha Miranda flashback, right? And someone's putting in there, it's not even the same actress as Miranda, so it's not Miranda. All right, let me address that real quick. It's guaranteed to be a Miranda, whether it's the same actress or not. Sometimes the same actress is not available to shoot when they're able to shoot. Because these are bit parts they're giving them. They may have something else going on, and they may not be available to shoot that part. It's just like when they showed Henry, and he's in the hospital with that lady that looks like the ballerina woman, but it's not the same actress who played the ballerina woman. 100%, I believe that is supposed to be the ballerina woman in that flash when he sees it. They may not have been able to get that actress, just like they haven't been able to get this actress who played Miranda. And that is the reason why they do not have that same actress in there. I'm sure if they could, they would, but they didn't. But there's no way you could look at that lady and not say that lady straight up the bat is not, and I'm telling you, is not supposed to be the ballerina woman. We seen Sophia first. I mean, you gotta just add up, connect the dots. We seen Sophia go inside the store. She's seen the ballerina figurine. She looked at it. They made sure that she looked at it, right? Why would they make sure that she looked at that ballerina figurine? What did we see after that? We see a lady, after she puts this blood in this dude's Henry's drink. We see a lady that just so happens to look like the ballerina actress that's in there. The ballerina. I mean, they did it on purpose. That was the whole point of her looking at the statue, the figurine, to harken you back to that ballerina so that you remembered that ballerina. So that when they did this scene later on, you would pick up, if you're paying close attention, that, oh my God, this is the ballerina actress and this is the ballerina in this man's dream. All right. That's why they put everything. If you look at the whole thing that he's put in there, they put his goddamn sofa, the same one that Tabitha was on, the same exact sofa. They put that sofa in. Ain't no sofa like that inside a hospital. Now, maybe they're not in the hospital. Maybe he's in his house and they're just doing this stuff for him in his house. He's got that much juice, that much money. He can have doctors and everything else inside of his house to do that, right? Maybe that's the case. But if it's not the case, you don't have couches like that inside of a doctor's office like that. They just put that in there and they put those patterns and everything to let you know exactly everything that's going on, to make it seem familiar to him when he was doing the dream. When he's up in there and he's in this image and he's going through it, it made it look as familiar to him as possible by putting all those things in there. That's what it is. So when you hear somebody tell you, oh, it's not the same actress, it's not the same person, you have to look at the whole thing in total, all right? I'm sure that ballerina lady was unavailable, and that's why she wasn't there. So they casted someone who looks exactly like her. Exactly like her. The Miranda actress is not available. Obviously, that's supposed to be Miranda. They think that because it's not the same actress, it's not Miranda, and why would Tabitha even have the flashback at all? Why would she have? She's going to have a random flashback of someone else who just happens to look like Miranda driving around in Christopher's car, right? It just doesn't make no sense, man. So that's what it is. So don't let people try to talk you out of it. That's the way you feel. Understand that that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Understand that that's what's going on. That's why they're rocking it like that and everything else. You know what I mean? Henry could have been in a nursing home. He could have been in a nursing home. I'll give you that. 100% he could have been in a nursing home at that time. I don't think he's old enough. I mean, people get put in nursing homes for different reasons, right? Usually it's mental challenges. they get put in nursing homes when their family can't take care of them, they can't take care of themselves. It costs a lot of money to be in a nursing home. Victor did look extra spiffy, so maybe he's making some dollars out there in that world and there. But you know, to say it's a nursing home, it's kind of, you know, could be. I will not tell you that it's not. You know what I mean? Not at all. Listen, man. Yeah. I better watch yourself with your comments about my shorty. Hey. Anyway, besides all that, you know what I'm saying? We have to look at everything as a whole. So again, it people saying it's a computer simulation. Now, I'll go with you on this computer simulation. Again, you know, to me, it's so heavy-handed that they want you to believe that this is magic. It's just so heavy-handed that it makes no sense for it to actually turn out to be that. You know what I mean? They're having this girl do these chants and these rituals and everything else. To me, it just doesn't make any sense to have all that heavy-handedness, and then all of a sudden, this is what it's going to be when it's all said and done. You know what I mean? That it's all going to be some type of magic situation going on. Oh, my mother is in the chat right now. Hello, Mom. I love you, Mom. I hope everything is good. I miss you, too. I hope everything is going good for you and Royce. Royce, I said, what up? And I hope we had a great time at Colette's while she was away and everything, and all that good stuff. You know, Red Lipstick Club's in the building. She goes, I was wondering if you're going to do an early stream so we can watch the game. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. The game is priority right now. I'm sorry. It's no choice. We're talking about, you know, a championship for the New York Knicks. There's no way. I need to watch them win it, and I need to go down there and be a part of the parade. Like that's just got to be. There's no way around it. It's got to be. We're going to be there. Once they win it, we're going to be in the Canyon of Heroes. And that's just the way it goes down. I'll stream the whole shit from the Canyon of Heroes when we win it, because we win it. And that's just the bottom line and all that. Let's see. LT1, you see Christopher's car in season 2, the same one that Miranda is driving? Yes, 100%. So people asked me before that question too. They said, how do you know that it's Christopher's car? Well, if you look at the picture that Victor has, that they show of Christopher holding up the book, he's standing in front of his car, and that's why they posed it there. And it's the exact same car in there. So yeah, we've seen that car. We know that that's Christopher's car, 100%. And as I said, you know, people are saying like, hey, how come Miranda's arriving? How come Miranda's arriving in his car? He's not supposed to be. She's supposed to arrive in her car and everything else. Well, I think that people are misinterpreting it. And I put that in my last video that I just dropped, and I dropped that theory today, that I don't believe that she's arriving. I think she's arriving again. I think that she's escaped. Again, we have to look at things from what the show has shown us. And what we have seen in these shows and what this show has constantly said is that it's a cycle. And it repeats itself, especially with those two. We know that every time Jay dies, he gets killed by the town. And first he tells them, they find out about him, and then they hate him. All right? And then we know that 100% that every time that Miranda Tabitha gets killed, it's worse than whatever happens to him. Those are facts. So we cannot just think here that these one things have only happened. You have to see the pattern. Christopher seeing the drawing pattern, and then Jade seeing the drawing pattern. And I would suggest that every version of Jade that's ever been there has seen the same exact pattern. The only thing that makes Miranda, or I should say Tabitha, special in this show, that we have seen in this show that makes her special, is the fact that she escaped this town. She's the one person that we've seen do it. Why wouldn't we think that it's the same exact thing? My mic is cracking. Wait a second. Wait. Let me make sure I have the right mic on. Oh, it's not the right mic on. It's not the right mic. That's why. All right, 1 second. Let me fix this mic. Oh, Jesus! The mic is not even plugged in. That's why. Yeah. event. What is going on? Why is this mic not plugging in? There we go. All right. All right. Mic check. Let me see. All right, mic check, mic check. That should be good. It should be back to normal on mic. Hopefully that sounds better and stuff. Hopefully that sounds much better and everything else like that. All right, so now let me go back on my rant because let me say it so you could actually hear what I'm saying and everything else. What I'm trying to say is that if Jade has seen the pattern, then we have to assume that every version of Jade has seen the pattern. And if Tabitha escaped from Ville, then I'm assuming that every version of Tabitha has escaped at least one time. That's what I'm trying to say. I know that when we look at, and I know people are going to say, well, Tony Teflon, we seen her try to make it to the tree, and she didn't make it on the tree. Listen, what she was told specifically when she made it to the tree was that if she needed to save the children, she wanted to go to the tree. She did not go there thinking that would be a way out. Right? When Tabitha went there, she didn't go there thinking that would be a way out. Right? It just so happened to be that's the way she got out. So just because she got out that way doesn't mean that Miranda didn't get out a different way. Now we've seen in this season, Acosta try to drive around, and she said she wanted to test the system to see if it actually works because she does not know that it's a constant loop that she was never experienced that. So her herself went out there. So what's there not to say that Miranda somehow found her way out a different way? I'm sure there's other ways out. Not everybody. Listen, when they escape this motherfucker, and they will escape eventually before the season's over, someone's gonna make it out. They all ain't jumping off the top of the lighthouse. All right, it ain't gonna be a conga line of people on the lighthouse just jumping to their death. You know, it's not gonna go out like that. You know what I mean? It's not the way it's gonna go down when it's all said and done. So there has to be another way out. Maybe it's a good chance that maybe she found that way out. And that when we see her straight up, when we see her inside of this Christopher's car coming in, that she has returned, that she got sent back somehow. She may have found a way out for a little bit. Maybe she was driving, she found a way out, and then she found a way, and they dragged her right back in. Either way, I do believe that that's what's going on there. I think that was what makes the most sense to me. Now, we could also talk about the whole parallel universe situation. And I've talked about that before. And I do believe it could be a parallel universe situation. If this is a different Miranda from a different parallel universe, and this is how this Miranda arrived, and this Miranda didn't have children, then that would be totally plausible. And she had this car, then that would be plausible for that to be a different Miranda in a different parallel universe. And Tabitha is seeing a vision of a parallel universe Miranda who did not have kids, who had the same car as Christopher, and she was the one who came in. Because when we look at everything, right, we see that Jade is the person who plays the violin, right? But we've always heard from Victor that it was Miranda that played the violin, right? So how'd that get swapped around? And the whole Jade situation is really suspect as a whole. When we look at everything, Jade has said some stuff that I just don't believe what he said. You know what I mean? He said some things there that are just don't work for me. You know what I mean? It just doesn't work. And there's a lot of contradictions in Jade's stories. And I know that, yeah, everyone likes the actor so much, right? Everyone likes David Outplay, and everybody likes him and stuff. So, you know, you let it go. All right. I don't let shit go. And I don't let it go. All right. And when I hear shit from this dude, that shit just don't add up. There's something suspect about it. You know what I mean? I believe in it all and everything else. It's just not the way it goes down for me. You know what I mean? That fast and dirty. Oh, one of the most craziest slides of all time. You know what I mean? It just doesn't work for me. You know what I mean? You say, "Oh, Tony Teflon, what are you doing? You just like you just hating on Jay." I ain't hating on nobody, goddamn it. Right? I ain't hating on him at all. I'm just saying the truth. Listen to his story. He said straight up that him and Toby were friends since they was small children. That's what he says, right? they're real small children. Him and Toby been friends since that. But then he also says he ain't come from France until he was like 10, 11 years old. So how is that possible? Toby wasn't in France. Toby wasn't hanging out there. There ain't nothing French about Toby. All right? Toby is from America. It's obvious. You can listen to the way the man talks, the way he reacts. So how is that possible? How are they friends for such a long time when he wasn't there? You know what I mean? Toby ain't come from goddamn France. Right? So that's one thing that he said that don't add up. It's not working. Now the showrunners have said that they are not done with Toby yet. All right, they're not done with Toby. They're not done with him. Dr. The showrunner says Toby gonna come back in there. It's gonna play a role, and I think the role he's gonna play is that this is a kind of suspect story for Jade. All right, it's kind of suspect there. Something's not adding up with that whole story situation. All right, something's weird going on there. Again, Victor's always said when the two cards appear, that's when the death happens. Right? Why is it when the two cards appear, the death happens? What is it about the two cards when the two cards appear at the same time? To me, it's one card is meant to be there and one card gets snuck in, right? That's the way it usually happens. And how many times have two cards appeared that Victor has seen it, that he knows that it's a pattern? Like, Victor never talks about the 80s when he was up in there in the 80s. It's always the 70s and now. It's like the 80s and the 90s all been stripped away. And Victor never talk about that situation going on there. How many two pairs of cards have come in there that Victor has seen, that he has seen the pattern? And how many massacres has Victor been able to survive? I mean, you survived the first one. The first one, he was a child. We'll say he got lucky because he was hidden in the root cellar. So he got lucky on that one. How did he survive the second one? And if it's a two-card thing where it constantly happens, there had to be another one. So how do you survive that one? Like, it's just too many ways. There's too many ways, too many times that you can only get lucky so many times. And this guy would have gotten lucky at least 3 times when everyone else died but him, unless they're purposely keeping alive or Victor a part of this shit. Victor's a part of this shit. There's no other way. It's impossible, right? It's just not the way the odds work. In anything that you do in life, you don't get lucky that many times. You know what I mean? And that's just what it is. Victor know the deal. He know what's going on. Thank you for the super chat. Truly appreciate it. And that is from Freedom March. And he says, yo, out of left field, but you into boxing. Who's ducking, Devin or Shakur? Jade is being played, and he's doing exactly what the entity wants. 100%, I believe that Jade is being played, and he's doing everything that they want. 100% into boxing. He used to box for many years myself. So I would say this. It's not, I don't think any of them are actually ducking each other. I think Shakur has just moved up to 140. So for him, this to move up and have one fight at 140, and then all of a sudden move up again to 147, it just wouldn't be good for him to do that. It's just too soon for him. He's still young, fairly young and stuff. And he has to get a chance to listen. Great fighters can do it. Like Mayweather can do it, right? He didn't even go. I don't think he went to junior lightweight. They jumped the whole weight and went right to 147. Shakur's not as big as Mayweather was. You know what I mean? So I just think that it's better for him to stay at 140 at least for another fight and then move. Because now Devin Haney is built himself to that weight. You know what I mean? He's full 147 right now. And he's built himself there. He's probably walking around at 160, 165. He's probably walking around and sucking down to 147. I can't see Shakur weighing more than 150. So he's got to build himself up, you know what I mean, before he can go up there. So I wouldn't say any of them are ducking each other. I just don't think the timing is right now when I look at it for them fighting. If they did fight and Shakur was his natural weight, I think Shakur would beat him. I think Shakur, I don't think he knocked him out, but I think Shakur would outpoint and everything. All right. We got Michael Master saying, thank God we still have Kenny. Yeah, listen, I am a suspect on Kenny. I'm not one, the biggest Kenny fan, as all y'all know, and all that stuff. I don't mind the character or anything like that, but I don't mind. Let's put it like that, you know. But I really thought Kenny was going to get got. They fooled me. Like, I know Kenny's untouchable. For some reason, you know, I thought that you know, that he was going to get got and everything else. Teflon TV, what do you think? You can call me Tony. It's all good. What do you think about the fact that there's a real world company called Jade Software Company, founded in 1978, and created a Jade programming language? Victor's Town was massacred in 1970. I have no idea about that. I have to look that up. It's very interesting. I do think that Jade's Software Company comes into play. Again, when they harpen things back to you, the season before last, they're not just saying it. They could have made a lot of fillers about it, right? And they made a joke about it. And that's how they get you to let your guard down, right? You gotta understand how the games the writers play. And I'm a writer, right? So I'm a writer. Now I'm on the level of these guys because I haven't had the opportunity to be that. So, you know, people may say, oh, you guys are so much better than you and everything else. It's not about being better. It's about opportunity, right? And this is a little club, and certain people in the club and certain people aren't. And just because certain people are in there doesn't mean that they're better than the people who aren't. I can show you guys who I've played basketball with in the street that were just as good as any fucking NBA player you've ever seen, but they never got the chance to do it. For whatever reason, they didn't get the chance. I can show you rappers who are better than all these rappers that you've ever seen out there that's never got the chance to do it. So it's not about just because someone has the opportunity to put something out that makes them better, all right, than someone who hasn't had the opportunity to put. So it's all about opportunity and getting tapped. And whether you get tapped or don't get tapped, that's how you make it in this business. And that's the bottom line. So, but what I'm saying is this: when they hearken back to things, they do this to let you know about something. And them doing this, and they did it in a sly way, and had Jade bring up his company and then bring up Kenny's job and then make the joke about Coach Kenny. See, the Coach Kenny thing is what people remember, right? That gets you off of what the conversation was about. And it was about Jade's software. He brought up his software company, and Kenny just ho-hummed it. Yeah, we all know you Jade's your software company. And then they went right from that. They went right from that whole situation all of a sudden to, oh, Coach Kenny. They brought his software company up. There was no need for them to bring that up out of nowhere. And the way they say that Jay brings that up all the time, we don't hear Jay bring that up all the time. That must be some off-camera shit, right? But we don't hear it as an audience, him bringing it up all the time. We heard him bring it up like maybe once or twice in 3 seasons. And that's it, right? So they're saying that, you know what I mean? They're saying this 100%. They are saying this because that company has something to do with it. Just like they showed the man in yellow, all of a sudden, look at the ballerina statue. And then all of a sudden after that, we have a lady who looks just like the ballerina in Henry's vision. It's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence they brought up his software company. His software company has something to do with this whole situation. And that's the reason why I believe Jade was in there, is brought in there this time, because his software company at this time, I do believe, has something to do with this whole situation getting started in the first place. I think somewhere in the future that this quantum technique, quantum mechanics, or whatever you would like to call it, quantum algorithm, he said, has something to do with some type of computer thing that goes in the future. And I think they're able to create a wormhole with this situation. And I think that when they create this wormhole, they go back in the time, they capture what I believe is an alien, they put them in here, and they take people from different time periods and different things, and they run experiments on this. That's what I really believe is going on here. I still think it is an experiment by the government or someone above them that is running an experiment on them, and they've trapped this alien in there. Now, whether the alien's the man in yellow, I don't know, or it's someone else. The man in yellow could just be a human that they infected with these parasitic worms that turned him into this. And they could just be using him running tests. And remember, Sarah said straight up, you always got to go back to Sarah, right? And Sarah said straight up, she goes, they said they're trapped here too, and they're just like us. And they're trapped, right? And the voice that was talking to her. And it's not the man in yellow talking to her. It's the voice that's talking to her that wants to get out. They're trapped there too, and they're just like them. right? It's two sets of people. There's humans that we know and whatever else is being trapped there. And I think that's what it is. I think they have trapped these people in this pocket dimension. And they're running experiments, and they've been running experiments. They ran experiments on their kids first. And they've seen how that affected. And it could be, and they may even think that when they're doing it, that they're doing it for the betterment of their world. Like, oh, how can we get people to live longer? All right, how can we get people to do this? It could be a covert situation. All right, it could be any of these things. But 100%, when it's all said and done, I believe that that's what's going on. And you're absolutely correct there. Correct there, square black chick. You know what I mean? And I don't think you're a square black chick. Let's not say that. You look pretty hip to me. That's right, Star Magic. Star Magic is the name of the motel for a reason. They didn't just pick that name. They could have put anything up in there. Why did they put Star Magic in there? Why did they put it there? Why did they put Out of This World for the candy bar in there? They could have put anything else in there. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? There's no other reason for anything like that to go down. You know, and that's just what it is. I've been telling you this, and I've been consistent with this since season 1. Season 1. My theory has not changed since season 1. I have said the same thing. And y'all can go back and watch when I was one of the only YouTubers even covering this show in season 1. And I've told you that in season 1. And I'm telling you that still to this day. And there's nothing that they have showed me to make me think that that's not the case. I still go by it. And I'm standing firm on it, 10 toes down, right? So in the end, we'll see, but I do believe that that's what's going on and everything else without a shadow of a doubt. You know what I mean? I can't see it being anything else but that. Now, you may want to say that it's fae and it's fairies, and if it's fairies and they've captured the fairies and that's what they're using on, fairies would be alien anyway. I'm not being specific of when I tell you it's an alien. I'm not telling you it's a Cleon alien. I'm not telling you it's a Jaguar. All right. I'm not telling you it's a Wookiee. All right. I don't know what type of goddamn alien this motherfucker is. All right. There's a bunch out there and all these shit. But what I am telling you is that it's definitely not something from this planet, and that they're running experiments using this alien's DNA, infecting human beings with it, and seeing what happens. And that's why they have them trapped here, just in case these people get released into the world. They're trapping them there and everything else. That's what I believe is going on. And that's what it is. Non-context, Tony, are you going live tonight? I have to watch the game tonight. I have to watch the Knicks game. That's why I'm on here early right now with over 200 of you in the chat. Thank you for rocking with me. I'm here early for y'all because I have no choice but to watch the Knicks try to pull this off. So at 8:30, I'll be doing that. That is the way the Don will be rocking when it's all said and done. So we'll see everything else. Yeah, people say, yes, I did mention the Cosmic Bar. I did mention that already. But there's even more proof. Besides those two things, besides those, a chocolate bar and everything, and I got it on the videos. I put them all in there. Put it all in there. And the biggest proof of them all, is that it's billed as a sci-fi horror. And that's it. No matter what y'all, they've added stuff to the to it. When it first came out, first season, second season, all the way up to the third season, it was billed sci-fi horror. Not fantasy, not any of this other stuff. Now they've added other taglines to it, probably to try to throw your people off. But the show is what the show is. And that's what it is. You know what I mean? It's going to be, in the end, you've seen everything that you think is sci-fi. And you think it's what's going to be. I mean, you look at these faraway trees, and they go inside the trees, and they're inside the tree, and they're happy in the tree, and sitting there, and saying, oh my God, I have a magical tree transporting me. Ain't no damn magic in that tree. Ain't no damn magic. And when that tree falls, in the last episode this season, because what's it called? When a tree falls in the forest, right? Or something like that. And that tree finally falls. You're going to see electrical wires coming out this. You're going to see it short circuit. It's going to glitch. Something's going to happen. And then, when the Don is proven right, you're going to see all these everybody come out here and jump on the Don's Disney. You're going to see it. I thought that too, Tony Teflon. I was with you the whole way. You're going to hear it all. There's a couple of y'all who was with me. But you're going to hear from everybody. I always knew this was the case, Tony. I always knew it. This is what they were going to do. I seen right through it. You know what I mean? That is what it's going to be. And you'll see it right off the bat. You know what I mean? I promise you that this is what it's going to be when it's all said and done. And I am here. Yeah, people, you could say it. You could, I believe you, hot chip Tony. Listen, I promise you that I would eat that hot chip if I was wrong. I haven't had to eat it yet. And I'm never going to have to eat it because I'm 100% sure that this is it. I already know it, man. Like, to me, it's just where it's going to be. It's what it's going to be in the end. You know what I mean? Terry Matheru, he says, where's Bigfoot? Have no idea. You know, I'm not into things like that, Terrence. I don't know. I've not seen Bigfoot in there. Now, listen, there's a Bigfootish creature in this thing. I would not tell you that that's not the case. I'd be the first one to say that it could go down this way. You know what I mean? But I have not seen any signs of Bigfoot. Yeah, where is the polar bear? Now we're going through Terrence theory now. Where is the polar bear? Now, I have not seen a polar bear. You know, I would not say that there isn't one yet, but we haven't seen it yet. People are saying you want the phone number now. All right, let me put the phone number up for y'all. People want to call me. Where is it? I think it's this. There. That should be it. All right, there. I think that's the number. So, yeah, if you do want to call me, you can call on that number right there. It's on the crawl right now. You know what I mean? It's right there and everything else. You can call me if you want and everything else. And listen, people, but curious, this Terry says again, but seriously, the Mountie on the glass in the bar, Canadian from land income. I'm not going to tell you that it's not, Taryn, of course not. I think that your theory is very good. I've told you that from the beginning. I think they have pointed out a lot of things of your theory they have shown in the show. You said tarot cards, and they've showed tarot cards, and it's so funny that that when Taryn was saying tarot cards and people weren't believing them, and then all of a sudden, they showed tarot cards in the show, and then they showed this dude Jim hanging upside down with his leg in the 4 position as a tarot card. All of a sudden, everybody said it was tarot cards. All of a sudden, I started seeing all these videos from all these people saying, I told you it was tarot cards. I told you. You didn't tell me shit. You didn't say shit. The only one I seen say was Taryn. And that's just the bottom line. You know what I mean? I ain't going to lie about it. Everybody else goes, oh, it was a tarot. I don't do it. No, you didn't know shit. Motherfuckers. I ain't gonna let you get away with that shit. Other people may. But you can't come on here and get away with that bullshit. Only one said tarot cards was tarot. That's it. You may agree with them. You can say you agree with them. But when you say you made it up, then that's the problem. Because you watch your shit and then you put it out there. And that's wrong. You shouldn't do that. You always agree with people. You agree with someone, put something out there. It's not hard to say that person sparked your imagination. You know what I mean? That's just the way it goes. So we shall see. Non-context says Taryn, Real, Tony have all. Listen, 100%. I agree with that. Real has been dead on. Taryn has been dead on, and I have been on a lot of these things. 100%. Whether it's the egg stuff with Real, it's too many things that I could name for Real that he's been on. So I can't really go through them all because it's too many. He's said a lot of different things, and he's gotten a lot of them right. And he's got a lot of hostility from it too, and he got a lot of people stealing the shit too. I see people stealing the shit and everything else and not showing the man love. I've been through it. I've been on YouTube for a long time. I've been through it with Game of Thrones. And I think that people don't understand like what it feels like. And I'm gonna explain to you real quick when people steal your theories because they don't have the talent to make them up on themselves. I missed the call. I couldn't have missed the call. Couldn't have missed the call. Phone. Wait a second. Your browser might prevent your phone from ringing. 1 second. I'm gonna call it myself to see if the phone is messing up. This is not my normal computer. I'm using a different computer. Oh, I see it. Someone calling in now. Can you hear it? What's going on? Wait, I gotta do this. What's going on? You're rocking with the Don Tony Teflon. Who's this? What's going on, CJ? Appreciate it. Appreciate it on all levels. All levels. I appreciate that. Well, hold on 1 second. I said they cannot hear you. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense why they can't hear you. They should be able to hear you. Let me see. It's not muted. I can hear you perfectly fine. They're saying they can't hear you. See. All right, let me work this out. Yeah, call me right back. All right. All right. For some reason, they're saying they can't. All right. So what I'm gonna do now is because obviously I'm having problems with this phone line. So what I'm gonna do is not I'm gonna give you the ability to do this. Someone's calling again. But we'll try it one more time to see. All right. Oh, all right. I think this is all right. What's going on? Let me. Can you hear? Can y'all hear him? I think what is I had two things open, and I was only sharing the one, so I think I was sharing the wrong one. So I think this should be the right one. People should be able to hear you now. Let me make sure that the chat says that they can hear you real quick. Can you hear CJ right now in the chat? Yeah, don't say hi to everybody and hi to Phil. I'm asking y'all a question right now. Can you hear the guy? Is everybody there? All right, I can hear you. No, now, no. People are saying no again. They can't hear you. All right, let me see if I don't know why this would not be working, but let me see if I can fix this, uh, and see what's going on. All right, I'm just gonna get rid of my phone line right now. I'm just gonna ditch my phone line right now for whatever reason. My phone line it's not the same computer I'm using. I think I'm in the wrong browser. I have to fix the browser settings to do it. I don't have time to do it. So what I'll do for all y'all, if you want to come on and you want to say something to me, I'll put the link in the description. You don't have to show yourself. You can come on real quick. You can say what you got to say, and then you can get off. All right. So we'll go that route with it in a second. Phil will be on here until Phil gets here. We'll run it this way. Hide that because it's not going down. because my phone line, it's not my, this is my older computer, because I have my newer computer hooked up and I'm doing all the work for my television show and everything else on that one. So this is my older one that I used to use and stuff. So the original one. It's funny because I still have all of my from stuff and everything is all saved up in this one. That's how long I've been covering this show. This one is like 4 years old. This computer, it's not long, probably 6-7 years. I had this one, this gaming computer. I got it right after the Game of Thrones because I wanted to do OBS on it and stuff and all that good stuff. All right, we're gonna listen to KP right now.
Hello, hello, hello.
What's going on, man?
I am good. I am good. I'm having a little supper, a little early supper, and
Okay,
I will be one of the many millions of people alongside you watching the Knicks take that chip
that's right.
today. Um, you guys deserve it. I mean, listen, it's been a while. I don't think I've seen it in my lifetime, and I didn't think I would. I really didn't think I would. But back to from, because I want to tease you about Nick stuff, but we'll do
Yep.
that another day. Back to from. I had this very, very weird when I saw that
Mm-hmm.
hospital scene. I had this very, very weird feeling inside of me. Is like, oh, they're gonna tell us that all these people are in a hospital, in some kind of madhouse hospital, and
Mm-hmm.
they're hallucinating together, and that is going to be worst ending in the world. I don't think that's what they're going to do anymore, but it still leaves the door open to horrible endings. And what do you think? Because I know, I mean, I am not necessarily down with you, the aliens, but like, if aliens is the thing, I wouldn't be mad if they found a nice to do it. What I would not be down with is something like, oh, all these people have been in a room, sick or asleep in a coma, and they've been hallucinating in a dream world together. That would make me mad.
Yeah, I don't think
Give
they're gonna
us
do
some
that, right? I can't
give
see
us
them doing it.
some kind of encouragement and some kind of reasoning as to why you don't think that's what they're doing.
Yeah, I just don't think that they're gonna go that route. I think that's, to have them all sitting there with headphones on and eyepieces on and everything else. I just don't think they're gonna do that. It would just be too.
Tacky.
It's tacky is a great word for it. It'd just be too lazy. I
Yeah.
think they'd have to, even if they thought about doing that to start, I think they'd realize now that's not, even though I do believe when you look at the viewfinder, a viewfinder is like a headset, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I do believe that it has something to do with that, but I would think it's more, if you're gonna go that route, you go the holodeck route. Like the
Yeah.
whole thing is a place like they're actually in it. They're not just looking at it, they're actually living it.
And then the other thing about it is, usually in those situations, only one person is actually a person. Everybody else is, you know, is created in that person's mind, and they're moving them around. So
Mm-hmm.
it would mean that all of these characters that we've met and we've gotten to like or dislike or whatever wouldn't actually exist. It would just be, let's say, Henry would be a guy who's in the situation, whether he's in a coma or whatever, and they created a cast of characters in a scenario to keep him excited, to keep him, to give him something to do while he's in that coma. And it'll be like wasted time learning about all these people that do actually exist because they're just figments of Henry's imagination. So I think that's a really bad way to do it. But I have to say, episode 7, I enjoy. I haven't watched. I don't know if is episode 8 out there. I don't even know.
Not yet,
Um,
not yet.
so
1201. 1201.
cool. So I enjoyed episode 7. Probably my favorite episode. I don't know if we had a. I don't know if I don't know if we had a chat about that one, but I really enjoyed episode 7, and I've seen the trailer for episode 8, and I think it's going to be a really good one. So I'm very excited to see that one. So that's about it from me, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening to everybody. Hope everybody's good in the chat. I'm going to go back to the chat. Hopefully Phil comes on sometime soon to save you from your little tech issues.
Yeah, I would hope so. It definitely would help if Phil would do that.
All right, man. So I'm jumping off. So you
All
guys
right,
are.
bro.
I'm checking the TV. Cheers.
Peace. That was a great KP coming on there, rocking with us real quick and everything. Nothing but love. Nothing but love. Well, hold on one sec. I need. Well, Phil's gonna be on in a second. We'll be here once. We'll be on 1 second, and then I'll have to handle something real quick. But once he comes on, I will take care of it. Yeah, we're talking about the trailer. We're talking about anything you want to talk about. Anything you wish to talk about. Talk about the photos that were in Henry's basement, like the thing eating the children. Also, I bet Jade and Tabitha were evil back in the day. Their true personalities come out. I do believe that they made the deal, and they saw everyone. You know, it's suffered like, oh, Jade and them were the only ones who didn't do it. I could see the twist that Jade and the one were the ones who did it, and that is the reason why everything is going down the way it actually went down. You know what I mean? All right, let's get CJ. Let's get CJ on here because I messed up. What's going on, CJ?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep, okay.
All right, cool. Hopefully, yeah, everybody can hear me. Yeah, so I called earlier. Just wanted to say, yeah, big fan. Been watching since the show started. Been watching you guys since it started, and yeah, this season, the first few episodes really kind of, I want to say almost lost my patience. Really, I mean, it was kind of start off really slow. I know we had that last episode. I think it was 2 episodes ago where it was, you said it was a top. I agree. It was maybe the best episode of the entire show.
Now they're saying they can't hit. How is it possible that y'all just heard KP the whole time, and now you can't hear CJ? But y'all just heard KP the whole time.
That's tough to me.
Yeah, you do you hear yourself on the TV when you're talking?
No, I actually don't. Now I turn it up.
Yeah, do you
I think I do. Actually, I think I do.
All right, people saying it's them. Don't fuck with me, bro. Like for real, man. Don't play with me, man. For real, like don't mess with me like that. Don't do it. I know maybe y'all think it's funny or something, man, but it's not funny. All right, I'm willing to have fun on certain things like that. That's not funny. You can't do that. All right, CJ, let's go.
Yeah, but I guess I'll try to make my question quick. Basically, what I'm trying to find out, I guess my main question: I know you said the man in yellow, you see him getting bagged up, basically based on the fact that they find photo Sophia. My question is to you, like, how do you predict that goes down? I mean, even if they know it's her or they know she's the man in yellow, Sophia. How are they able to exactly stop the man in yellow, or does he just flee? Is my ultimate question.
How they kill him?
Yeah, I mean, once you've said you think they figure out or pinpoint exactly who he is. What would be what would be your plan, or what would be the idea to confronting him or stopping the man in yellow at that point?
I just feel like, to me, it's like that he's playing with his food too much, and eventually he could get caught doing that. I don't know. I mean, it seems like he could definitely take some type of physical damage if you want to go by breaking the arm and all that stuff. Listen, I try it all. The only thing we've seen that we know, it didn't look like when they found that the totems, didn't look happy with the totems right there. You know what I mean? Maybe you could stab him with the totem. Maybe that's what it is. The reason why the totems don't work on the monsters is because the monsters, are reanimated. They don't have any blood. They don't have any vital organs in their body whatsoever, right? They're just all made of stone, everything that's inside of them. So you're not going to be able to kill them with any type of object like that, whether it's bullets or a totem, because there's nothing there. From what we know, the man in yellow has vital organs inside of his body. So it's a good possibility that if you do stab him with the totem or shoot him with a bullet or something like that, that it would affect them and it would hurt them.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward, to these last couple episodes here. Like I said, I'm rooting for your Knicks tonight.
Thank you.
And been watching you since really day one. I mean, this is kind of my favorite podcast here, but keep it up. And just wanted to say you guys do a great job.
I really appreciate it. Thank you for the love.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Yep.
I mean, after that colossal loss where like that dude Fox needs to like go and hide and never play basketball again after not letting the time run out. And I was cheering for the Knicks there, but I'm screaming, you idiot, you moron.
All right, why? Let's just say that he did a good thing here.
For you, for most of New York.
Let's just say he did a good thing. It's not, listen.
He's a hero. He's a hero of New York. Bill Buckner. Bill Buckner before him, he's going to be a hero of New York.
I will say this, that there's some things have faded and it's destiny.
Fair. And
Destiny, man.
this team was fated to lose, and that team was fated to win. I agree, but it was, that being said, it was one of the stupidest plays I've seen in sports.
This is our destiny, and destiny can't
Laces
be denied.
out, Dan. Laces out, Dan.
This is the way it's going down. Everything.
It was a beautiful moment because with the last thing about sports, and I'm sorry, I'll skip this. I know Tony has to run and take care of something, but the sports is like the last live television. It used to be that everyone basically watched shows at the same time, or if there was like a live broadcast. Like sports, you still get that live once in a lifetime. Like that was something you'll never see again. It was just,
never again. That was history.
Yep.
And you'll be able to say, I was at this place watching that, and you'll remember what that is. And in the end, listen, it's not luck. We've done it multiple times already. We've come back multiple times. We're the best fourth quarter team in NBA for the whole season. This is what we do.
Yeah, I already know how tonight's going to go. The Spurs are going to have a 20-point lead after the first quarter, and somehow the Knicks will end up winning in the fourth.
It's what we do. This is what we do. I would really like, I think that if we just get out to an early lead on them, because they've never been down in the first quarter for the whole playoffs. They've always had the lead
After a
every
loss
game.
like that, they need to lay on their backs like a crab.
In every game. So I think that if we go out there and we just take it to them the first quarter and win the first quarter, we take their heart out the game in the game, and it's over. I would love this to beat them by 50 in this game and call it a day.
They lost.
All right. I'm sorry I snapped at y'all. People like, I hear him. All right. I'm sorry I snapped at y'all. But you can't mess with me like that, man. Because if you mess with me like that, then I'm going to start checking the system. And I got to check this and I got to check that. And it just frustrates me.
That being said, people couldn't hear the call. I couldn't hear the callers when they were.
The call is different. I understand. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
We can hear CJ for sure.
All right. Yeah. But then CJ.
That would be like you couldn't hear me. And I know some people probably don't want to hear me, but here I am.
Yeah, of course they do. Of course they do. So we're going over theories and stuff and everything.
Oh, well, one thing I wanted to say as I was driving home,
because you dropped the theory video, and we want to talk about that.
I did. I'll talk about that in a second. But I just want to talk about something before I forget about it that you mentioned earlier with Victor. We already know an answer to a question that you were asking. Like Victor did make a deal with them when he was down there underground. They said, "You keep coming underground here, Victor. You'll stay." To me, that vibed out like you've been here before. We made some sort of arrangement with you. And then even at the beginning of this season, when he saw the yellow suit, somehow those things convinced him that he imagined the yellow man. And when he's like, "Oh, it's a lie." So I think to answer your question, I think you were almost implying this in what you were saying. He made some sort of alliance with them, Tony.
Yeah, because they say if you keep coming down here, Victor, we'll have to keep you.
That was the giveaway right there. Just like in when we were talking about the red shirt. What's the guy's name? I keep forgetting his name. The guy that came alive last episode.
Oh, what was it?
Roger. That. Like the giveaway for Roger not being a zombie was the breathing. There's usually like a little thing. Once you heard him sort of breathe, that's the breathing of a human waking up being trapped, not a zombie.
You can see the way he's touching his face. He's touching his face like he's studying his face with his hands, like he's trying to feel what's going on because he can't see.
No,
zombies don't wake up like that and act like that and start touching their face and doing things like that.
Now, just for the record, I wouldn't have done that theory video if it wasn't for Tony. Tony's been telling me since I think Game of Thrones to do more short form videos. So yes, I finally got off my fucking ass. That when I first started hanging out with Carmine and Tony, both of them were like, "Make short videos, asshole." You know, and I never do it, but I decided to do this, and I actually touched base with Tony before last week's show, and I was like, hey, I got this stupid theory. Should I make a video? And he's like, shut up and make the fucking video. I mean, he was nicer than that, but that's ultimately what he said. Shut up and make the fucking video. I just had to make sure that my stupid thing wasn't somebody else's thing to cover what you were talking about earlier. Mm-hmm. You never can tell. It's like when you use someone's image and you don't know that you used them, and then someone hates you forever for it or something.
100%. So go ahead, spit your theory.
Oh, my theory is just about the Lake of Tears, that I think the Lake of Tears isn't actually a physical place. I think it has to do with the floods. I think some other people threw some other stuff in that maybe there's just the dead bodies and the dead bones of the kids are in the Lake of Tears or something like that. And I think all the pictures that we've seen with the tears and the bloody tears and all the bodies floating in the water, I think that all is the Lake of Tears. I think we've seen it. We saw it. It's the people dying in the floods. And I also think something that you've sort of hinted at as well when it comes down to it, I think this show inspires very creative thinking, and I would not trade it for the fucking world. But when we get down to the ultimate answer of this, I think it's going to be painfully simple. And each one of these titles is sort of specifically, almost literally tell you what's going to happen in the episode. And
every one of them did. Everyone. And I said it before when they put the best laid plans. I said it. I said the way they spelt laid is different than they normally spell it. Now, I didn't thought it was going to be an egg, but I knew that the laid meant something. And obviously that's what it meant when there was the laid for the egg. Yep. And that's what it was there.
For sure. And I think Lake of Tears might just be a simple, I compared it to something that like an advertiser would come up describing a flood that killed a lot of people. Like if they had to verbalize it in a way to make it sound less bad, or just like sum it up, you'd call a bunch of people dying in a lake of tears.
Yeah. Or like when the Indians had to do the march. Yep. And then what they call the Trail of Blood or the Trail of Tears or something like that.
Something
they
like
all died on, everything gets named like that. So I agree that it's a good chance that you're right on that, and that it's just when these people get flooded out at the end, that everyone's crying, and therefore it becomes people said Trail of Tears. Thank you very much. And it becomes a Lake of Tears for everybody out there, and that's what it is. It's a good chance that's right.
So I thank you, Tony. The last two videos, people that enjoy the last two, the spoiler one, even though I didn't necessarily get into what that was. Oh no, because I sent you the article thing with the Donna heart attack, and both those videos I did was Tony just being like, don't overthink it, just make the video. Because a lot of times I think, oh, I'll just say it in the live show. I'll be on with Tony on Sundays and I'm live on my channel too. I'll say the thing that I'm thinking, but you don't get credit for the thing unless you make a video about it. Because no one remembers the 3-hour live stream.
No one's going to credit the live stream. And listen, Phil, people subscribe to your channel and want to hear more from you.
Yeah, and I actually got a lot of subscribers, and for my channel that got a lot of views. So I appreciate that. Thank you to everyone that checked that out. Thank you, Tony, for kicking my ass, and all the good theory crafters like Tony and Real and Taryn that like come up with interesting stuff to make me feel, like I'm like $40 million and $20 because I want to do my share here. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, and listen, we got Gabs on tomorrow night with us again. She'll be rocking with us. So we got Gabs is back rocking with us. Make sure you subscribe to her channel. But she'll be back for the whole show this time again. So we look forward to having Gabs.
Tony, I got to tell you something off air that's fucking hilarious, by the way. I could kind of. I'll say the beats. I won't say who it is, but our podcast, the audio cast, Escaping From, is having like a really good season, and we're getting a lot of downloads and streams per episode, which is putting us on some top charts. So somebody reached out this week to be like, hey, can I get my their PR person that was asking if we could get their person on, right? And they obviously use some terminology to go, your season 4, episode 7 thing did this thing, and my client would do perfect for the situation. And I ignored it because it was somebody in the political field, like a person that was talking about like taking people out of a country or something like that, escaping from. So they didn't actually read. They just saw that we were numbered, and then they wrote me back again and were like, hey, we really want to get this person on. This person's been on The Daily Show with Jon Stewart and stuff, and they really wanted to get them on the Escaping From podcast. And they were like, did you read my last email? We really think this person will have real input on Escaping From. And I wrote them back the most hilarious email. I was like, I check your numbers, because if this person is an obsessive From fan, Tony and I will have them on in a second, but I think your algorithm is incorrect. And she wrote me back, yes, I saw Escaping From. I thought your podcast was about, escaping from certain areas. I don't know. I want to get more specific with you, Tony, and like read you the emails and stuff. But I don't want to waste time.
I want to know who this guy was that wanted to come on. I want to know who it is.
But he might still come on. I was like, if you watch the show, if you want to talk about if the boy in white's a creepy bastard, Tony and I will have you on. Like, I know this person. He's done some good stuff. Like I've seen him on The Daily Show with Jon Stewart. He's a funny guy.
No, that's funny. That's funny.
Yeah, they saw our numbers and they were like, can we gotta get this person on this Escaping From podcast. What the hell is this?
They didn't realize the podcast was really
No, they had no clue. And they even used like AI algorithm stuff to be like, oh, your season 4, episode 7 podcast, which got extra views last week, Tony, extra downloads. They were like, oh, he would be perfect to add to talk about escaping the area and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh my God, dude.
Yeah, it'd be Ben Shapiro on here talking and stuff like that. They're like, yes, escaping from these monsters, these creatures. You know,
it was actually amazing. I almost emailed you during the week, forwarded it to you during the week because I thought you'd. I'll wait to tell him. It was just fucking great, dude. Sorry to interrupt the show with that nonsense, everyone. I just figured we'll give you.
No, that's funny. That's great. That's great. I don't know. I got to go on the Gilded Age set. I went on there.
Oh yeah, I was watching some of that stuff. That's real cool.
Yeah, and they let me go inside like the house that they're shooting. I got footage. I can't put the footage out though; they won't let me. But I did get inside the house.
Hey, if they need an actor for a scene, just let them know.
Yeah, definitely. You know what I mean? Definitely. Don't worry, Phil. When I get this show out, there's a part for you, so you don't have to worry about it.
Hey,
when we get this television show, I'm going to send you the first pilot episode. Actually,
is it similar to what you said to me before?
No, that's not that one. It's not brand new. It's a show I worked on before. I just retreaded it and went back to it and stuff. Because I think that this one's more dual. Like the other one's going to take a lot of budget to do. So I figured we do this one because it doesn't take that much budget to get it done.
And the other one seems like it's more of a film sort of.
Yeah, it's going to be a budget. You need a budget. That's a succession.
Yeah, because I don't want to get into it, but you need a very specific kind of set.
Yeah,
and all of it is about the filming. When you film that kind of set, Tony, like because everything's from one direction, looking in that direction, it's hard. You have to pay for certain coverage stuff and certain technology that you have to be able to block the cameras. A show that both of us loved was lucky that they just moved into a certain area. But anyways, we'll talk.
Yeah, about this one, it could be shot. It's I'll give y'all. It's not. Is it fromish? No. It was something that if you watch from, you would like? Yes. So it's not a Widow's Bay. It's not fromish. It's not Walking Dead. It's not like that. It's enough that if you like those shows, you would like this show. And I guarantee you that y'all would never be able to figure this out. Yeah, because I'm not giving it away like that. But it's not to the point where where you're not getting any answers. I give a whole lot of answers the way it's supposed to. Kind of like what was that show that they did? It's not like this show, but the way they gave answers I thought was good. That show with the whole Open Range.
Open Range.
Open Range. I think did a great job in season 2. Outer Range. Did a great job giving answers in season 2, and I think that's the way it's supposed to give it. You're supposed to get answers like that show gave answers.
And you definitely. I didn't get a chance to watch season 2 because I gave up in season 1. But I know you really liked season 2 of that show. You talked about
should not after season 2. There's no way it should have got canceled. Well, then Peripheral 2 was a great show. Too.
I was more for like my viewing experience. Outer Range is definitely an audience for those kind of shows. And if I worked on a show, I think I would love to work on a show. But it's a little too Twin Peaks for me. But I dug it, at least in season 1. There's a goat down a hole. Like, oh, why is there a goat over there? The goat's talking to me. It's like it's strange shit like that. But for something about Peripheral just kind of connected with me, and the video game fan in me, it kind of like.
Yeah, listen, and if this show is a Peripheral type show, who knows? I can't say not every character is not a Peripheral situation. I don't know if y'all have seen that show, The Peripheral. It's only for one season, but it was really good. It was about basically like people going into the future, but they couldn't physically go into the future, so they had like avatar bodies built for them in the future, and then they were able to mind merge with these bodies in the future and then control them. That's basically what it was about. And it was really good, and it's only got canceled because of COVID.
The only one of the shows I didn't really like that we covered in that series, I liked Outer Range well enough, but the one that didn't grab me, even though it was well made, it was just something about it was the Apple Plus one, the Cosmo.
That was very hard to follow.
Yeah, I wasn't smart enough for that show.
That was I think that's why it got canceled. I think it was just it was too much. They did it too good that they put too much in it and people couldn't follow
It needs to be fun too for simple people like me.
Yeah, it was not. It was just too much to follow. But I thought that the show itself was excellent.
Yeah, no, it was well done, extremely well made, extremely. Tony, we do have a voicemail from the other night. Let's play with this one.
Hey, on the show, you guys mentioned how does Victor know that the man in yellow is back and that it's happening all over again? But I thought that he knew that the man in yellow is back because they found his suit. And Victor probably knows he's a shapeshifter. He hasn't confirmed that, but he could know he's a shapeshifter. And if he found the suit...
I'm going to play it again. How do we know that, though? We don't really know that he knows he's a shapeshifter.
Yeah, we don't know he's a shapeshifter. What I was saying when I did
the rest of your message.
Yeah, what I was saying was that how does he know that the man in yellow is responsible for everything? Like, how does he know that he's the one who is responsible for all the stuff that's happened? How does he know the man in yellow suit's the one who's done it? From what he's known, from what he said that we heard, is he's seen him eating his mother, and that's what he knows about him. Besides that, he says he was a good guy and he was a funny guy. Same thing he said about Christopher. He said Christopher was the one who went crazy and started killing everybody.
Chat with Jasper.
So what I'm asking is that how does he know that he is responsible for all the mayhem that happened after, when he's never said anything about it at all, and they've never shown anything about it?
And I don't think he has any reason to think that he's a shapeshifter at this point. Unless Victor really
if he did, he should have already brought that up.
Yeah, and I think for the most part, and this is just my opinion, and you might disagree with this, Tony, but you've called him out on this many times. Victor's inability to tell the whole story the first time. It takes him 2 or 3 times to tell. I don't think it's coming from a place of an active choice. I think if he knows the information, if he knew this thing was a shapeshifter right now, he would verbalize that information. He would, maybe to his dad, to Boyd in that situation. I think there's certain stuff that he just wouldn't keep to himself. At least that's my perspective. I think if he knew this thing had some magical powers, he would say it matter of factly to Ethan. Yes, the man in that yellow suit, after he killed my mother, he shapeshifted into another thing when he did the situation. Like, it would just be part of it. I don't think he'd block out that part and remember eating his mom. So so I don't know. Even if he thought it was all a figment of his imagination. So I think to him, he was always Doug. He was always the man in yellow in the situation.
Yeah, he's always been the man in yellow. I don't think he's seen him in any form. Again, it's obvious the way you get when you see Miranda come into town in the Hornet. Those 2 girls, one of them is Sophia. You could see the hair, and there's a reason. And, they think they're funny in these shows. Like, come on, I see what you're doing. They have it with 2 people purposely to block her. They have the one girl blocking her face with her head. You know what I mean? Like, the girl's perfectly leaning over. Like, they made sure they got that shot. Like, they said, all right, move your head forward. All right, that's where you're going to keep your head right there, just so you couldn't see her face. You know what I mean? It did all that purposely, but you can't hide the long hair in the back from her.
And there's a lot about you can't hide. And I don't want to spoil Tony's video, but if you can and you're watching this, push pause on this live stream or wait till we're done in a little bit and go watch Tony's video. He actually does a little bit of a close-up, so you can even more tell. If you've seen Sophia on the show, you can tell it's her. It's like, it's uncanny. And I'm somebody that has thought knowledge is going to come at a costa, and I'm going to die on that hill, I guess, and stick that she's going to find some sort of picture, but I think it might just corroborate the situation. And when Tabitha sees the picture of her, it will trigger the memory, because I agree with this. I said it at the time too, Tony. We don't see just 5 seconds of a flash of that drive to not see the end of it. And I think what might trigger the end half of that is looking at a picture of that situation. And so whatever Acosta finds will be, Tabitha will look at it and go, oh, and then we'll flash to the remainder of that vision.
Yeah, then you see the whole thing. You see her stand there, and you see her go through there. And she's not going to act the same, you know what I mean? Because this is the real version of her. This man in yellow interpretation, this is the man in yellow interpretation. And I really hope that they give this actress a chance to play her. I don't think they're gonna. They're probably just gonna have a drive-by and show her.
Yeah,
But I
or
would
Bay.
love to. I
Bay.
would love to see her play her how she really is, and then you could see the comparison of how the man in yellow is actually performing. Because I think she would just do an amazing job doing that.
Yeah. No, I agree, and it would especially seeing her in a couple of other things. It'd be good to see her have like.
And there is our Sunday guest coming on, rocking with us again. Is our girl Malicious Gabs. We got Gabs. I already told y'all we got Gabs back on this Sunday. She'll be rocking with the Don Tony Teflon and Phil the Issues guy on the Escaping From podcast. Go out there and subscribe to this girl channel. She goes, maybe Jay created an AI that got Sentinel and went rogue. 100%, it could be that. What do you think about that, Phil?
I mean, I think you've talked about that. That's it's funny she says that because that's definitely something you've been talking about since square one of this series, about somehow his AI might have become sentient and created this whole place to begin with as a place to trap. And you talked about it earlier today too, to trap the, and this connects to your alien theory. But I do think there's been too many mentions and too many discussions and too many touching base about Jade's job. And this goes to what I was talking about with my stupid theory about what they're doing is they're telling you the obvious thing, and then they're using illusions to try to distract you from it. And they used Coach Kenny being shit on yet again by Jade and Jade's comic foil bullshit to distract you from the fact of why does Jade get killed? Because Jade is a causing factor every time this place gets rolled. Every time this place gets rolled, Jade gets his fucking ass mixed in with it.
And the whole thing about it is, and I said it in my video, I'll say it again, is that they specifically said they hate him, right? When we see the guy shoot Boyd, right? Because Boyd went in the woods and he comes out there. The first thing he says is, I always liked you, Boyd, but everything's got gone to shit since you've been in the woods. And that's the reason why he shoots him. So they find out, it says they find out about who Jade is. They find out about him coming back to life. They found out about it. But that's not what makes them hate him. Something else he does got to make them hate him. And hate is a strong word. You know, because the guy who shot our Boyd, he did it because he felt it was the best thing to do because Boyd went in the woods. But he didn't hate Boyd. They hate Jade. Town comes to hate him. So he has to do something to make that town hate him.
And Tabitha gets it even worse.
And Tabitha gets it worse. And that's what it is. So there's a couple of things he could do. I mean, listen, if he opens up that door, the monsters come through, Donna's too sick to get out of bed, and then Donna gets killed because of that, the whole town hate him. The town will hate him. Donna can't get out the house, but do you really think that they would be willing to do a 3 times? 2 times didn't get it a third time thing.
You know what they say, Tony. 3rd time's a charm.
Oh.
I mean, we're placed in such a position right now where I've said this the last couple of weeks on the show. I'm wondering, in the way they set this up, if we're just never going to lose main characters again. Because I was with you where I was sitting where on the roof thinking, or watching Kenny on the roof, and I was with you. We both drank the Kool-Aid of that scene, and we thought it was going to happen. I think before the season happened, when we saw way too much of the Kool-Aid monster scene, we thought that Ellis was gone in that scene. I was convinced Ellis was going to go in that scene. And Donna, I did not think Donna was going to go, even the way, because they took too much time. TV trope 131, 508. If it takes too long to kill you in the scene, usually you don't die. Unless it's like a fight between 2 characters. But if you're going to die, it's usually is pretty quick the way they slice you. Like Donna, it took them too long. Like the other dude, fucking Reggie, they ripped out his thing. But I hope that is it bloodthirsty? Is it too bloodthirsty of me to say I want them to do it? I want them to take them out. Take out Kenny, take out Donna.
These people gotta die. And when you have a show like this, right?
Trade everyone for Giannis. Everyone.
The thing that makes shows like this work in the end is that if you start to feel that everyone has a chance to get it. Now, I don't know these showrunners' track record. I didn't write Lost. I didn't watch Lost. I watched a couple episodes. I didn't watch the full thing. So how many people of the main cast of Lost did they kill?
By the end?
By the end.
A lot, but like Spoiler alert for Lost. Spoiler alert for Lost. Spoiler alert for. They all somehow, most of them ended up as part of the end.
All right. See, so that doesn't give us a lot of faith in these writers killing people off then.
They always kind of came back because there was something called a flash sideways that happened in the final season where it was an alternate universe of all the characters that we basically have met along the way. A few people were missing that didn't want to come back, but characters that had gone came back in the flash sideways. And then,
but they were still physically dead in their universe.
yes, but on the island there was a entity called the Man in Black that could inhabit anybody that died on the island, could become a spirit or a vision of that person. And one of the main characters died at the end of the second to last season. And then the whole final season, he was the form of the man in Black got locked into his form. And that character stayed on the show as a different character, as the bad guy pretending to be the good guy.
For the whole final season.
Until he had a one-on-one battle with the main character.
Oh. All right, so it seems like they do take him out, but they give him a chance. I understand, but they do take people out.
People can correct me if some of the stuff I've said wrong because it's been a while, but I'm pretty sure everything I said's right.
Yeah, so it seems like they do take people out. So let's look at the main.
They bring them back.
That's right. Yeah. So they haven't gotten rid of anyone from the main cast yet, except for Jim. That's it.
And Cautry, if you consider him.
No, I don't. It's too quick for Cautry. That's one they should have probably kept. But no, I mean, no, because it was season 1, don't count. Season 2, they didn't take out anybody at all. All right, who died in season 2 that was special? Nobody. All right, there was no one there that you cared about. Season 3, they took out Jim. Nobody really cared about Jim, but at least he was the main character.
We got to mention Kenny's mom and Kenny's dad, which were, especially Kenny's mom, was a secondary main.
I love Kenny's mother, the actress, and I love her in the thing. But when we were dealing with main cast members, she wasn't a main cast.
Dale the same way. Dale was not a main cast member.
Not a main cast. I'm not talking about the side characters and the people that we just like.
I'm just pointing them out for the actually people that might be watching later. But I'm actually Kenny's mom.
Tien Chan it's not a side. It would be like killing Bata right now. I like Bata, but that's not a big death. I need a big death. When I talk big deaths, I'm talking about goddamn main character. We're talking about Boyd. We know he's not going to go, but I'm naming because this is the main cast. Boyd, Jade, Tabitha, Victor, Kenny.
I'll include Christy in that.
Julie. Christy is really a side character too.
But her dying would be meaningful enough to give you main character feels.
Only because it would affect Kenny.
And Boyd. And I think the way they instituted her at the beginning of the season 1 was as a main character kind of person. Her character.
If they killed Christy and Marielle and Elgin and Randall, that wouldn't be enough for me. Like to me, that still wouldn't be enough. It has to be one of the Jade, Tabitha, Boyd,
Ethan,
Kenny, Ethan, Julie, Victor.
Jade.
One of those 7.
Jade. Gotta
go. Like we gotta chop these heads need to roll.
Do you think again, you myself and Rio did a death draft before the season? None of us have gotten any. I'm pretty sure like none of our picks have come through because we picked all main characters, not side characters. We didn't have a red shirt pick. Do you think any of us get points?
I hope so. Because I think I picked Ellis, and I don't even consider Ellis.
You picked a lot of people. You have Ellis and Donna. You would have doubled.
I almost got it with Donna.
Yeah, you almost won the whole contest with that one thing. But right now we're all winning.
Like Ellis wouldn't be. That's not a main cast member. It's. I understand that people will feel it, but if they die, then they all got to die. Like if you're gonna get rid of those side people, then you got to get rid of Ellis. Fatima's a main cast member too. I'll put her on the main cast.
No, and I think
Ellis dying, Randall dying, Elgin dying.
The only thing I'll challenge what you're saying is I take Chrissy and Ellis out of that because of they have enough emotional shit wrapped around them that their deaths would hit hard.
I care more about Sarah than any of those people.
Me too. But Yeah, no, Sarah would be a big one too. Do you consider Sarah a main character?
Yeah, Sarah would be a big one if Sarah went out. But she's getting less and less screen time, though. You know what I mean? Like every
Because she's
season,
dying by the end of
they're
the season.
giving her less and less screen time. She doesn't have. She's not giving her anything to do. Like they started the whole thing of this whole show. First person you see is Sarah, right? That's the number one person you see when the show really starts rolling. When they get into town, that's the first people and then they go into the whole thing with Sarah and the
You
arm
have
and
Sarah as well, by the way.
arm and kill the boy, and then the Katri, and she's the one who takes Boyd into the woods, and she's going through all that. They went through all that. Had Kenny break up Snowman and do all this other stuff to her. They did everything here to build Sarah up, and this nothing from her right now. Zero.
Tony,
You don't get anything. Like, why did you do all that to build this character up? Just to kill her and get nothing from it? I don't understand it. Like, they just went away from her.
I think you're going to end up winning by default here, looking at these lists right now. Your death pool, besides all the other picks we have, are Ellis, Donna, Sarah, Sophia, Henry, and Tabitha. You might get Henry, Sophia, Sarah. You might get all three of them dying.
Yeah, I think I could get all three of those people dying.
And Rio's got Christy, Acosta, Elgin, Victor, Kenny, and Jade. And I have Fatima, Bakhta, Randall, Marielle, Julie, and Ethan. I think I might get Marielle, possibly Randall.
Yeah, Marielle Randall would be the one I would think out of that list that go. You know, but no, you have to take people out. You have to go into next season like there's no hope. Like if you go into next season like these people won and like, all right, we're on the right path. Let's get them. And that's how it ends. That sucks to me, right? It can't end like that. It has to end where, to me, what I'm looking for an ending of this season, whether we get it or not, it's just what I'm looking for. The showrunners have the right to do anything they want. I need them to be severely set back where they all think that it's over, like it's too much.
Yeah, this plan is going to colossally fail, and then they're going to be up against nothing, and they're going to lose a lot of people in that tunnels. Everyone but Boyd is going to die. That's what I want to happen. I want whoever Boyd leads down that tunnel, all of them die except for him. They leave him alive to the one to tell the tale, and it looks like it's failing, and there's one thing of hope where Victor goes and chops down the tree and it turns to be metal or something. I like that. Tony's mentioned that before. But most part, this whole mission looks fucking hopeless and a big chunk of our characters die. That's what I want. I'm a bloodthirsty evil person. I guess that's what I want.
Yeah, I'm not expecting too much from this episode tonight anyway. I think they'll save us from 9 and 10.
Yeah, this is going to be the slower catch up app between.
Yeah, I don't expect too much from this episode. I don't expect them to do a lot in this episode at all. I think 9. Usually they have 9 and 10 are like continuous from each other. That's the way they've always done them. So I expect everything to jump off of 9 and 10. I don't really think they're alive, things like. But main people need to go. It's just if you really want to start going to the point where this show is scary and everything else. I'll say that about The Walking Dead, at least at one point. They started taking things out of The Walking Dead. They started taking people out. Maybe not the people they wanted to take out, but they did take people out.
The problem with The Walking Dead with taking people out is it became too obvious in an episode when suddenly it was like them voting out a survivor. Well, we haven't heard from Tyrese for a while. Here he is. Oh, he's going to die in this episode. Here is Jesus. Oh, Jesus is going to die tonight. You know, so... And I'm glad they didn't go in that direction with this, but it would have been cool if they kept the element. No, and I keep saying kept the element. They did an amazing thing in the show, Tony, because you're right. If you really think about it, they've never killed any of the main characters. But they set up the illusion at the beginning of the series that anyone could go at any point in time, but they never really took out any of our mains. We haven't had one huge... And... Again, I asked the question, if you're a betting man, do you think one person goes by the end of the season?
They have to. I mean, if I'm betting, man, I don't know if I can bet on these writers that they do it, but I would just think for storytelling.
I'm sure someone in Vegas will take this bet.
They have to. And thank you so much, Fatima, for reading my book and almost being done. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And what up, Tamika's den? What's going on? What's going on, girl? Appreciate it. Bronx in the building, baby. Bronx. BX. The Knicks are in the building. That's all that matters. But yeah, no, they need to take somebody out. It's to this point now. You know what I mean? It's to this point. People like, damn, bloodthirsty. I'm not bloodthirsty.
I
I
am.
want a good show. And a good show, people die. The thing that made Game of Thrones so successful was people thought that anyone had a chance to die at any time. And then it started becoming unsuccessful when that started going away. Right? After season 3 of The Red Wedding, you believed that anyone could die. But then when you got to season 4 and 5, you started realizing these main characters ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, it was
No matter what they're in. Arya's getting stabbed in the stomach and then jumping across the fucking building like she's Superman.
All right,
Right? And everything. And that's what made Game of Thrones started taking away, because you lost that element that the main characters can die, and they started killing off side characters, but no one gave a fuck about that.
Yeah. The
Right.
last big one is what happens to the Mandalorian. Like that's the last huge one. After that, it's
But he was still a side character. He just came in the season and died the same season.
But that kind of proves, or for me personally, I won't say for anybody else, for you or for anybody else, but for me, I can deal with a side character dying if they take the time to emotionally build them, and it's a big weight. So it did hurt when Kenny's mom died. It would hurt if this character died or that character died. If you take the time, and like with the Red Viper, they spent that whole season or a bunch of episodes making you care about him. Pedro is charismatic as fuck, so it hurts to kind of see the way it happens. So if this show builds this whole thing up, but that's the thing. Even these side characters that we're talking about, a lot of them have some sort of plot armor as well.
They do. Like, they're not killing Ethan. They're not killing Ethan.
They're
not killing Boyd. I don't believe they're willing to kill Kenny. I don't think they have the ball. I don't think the writers have the balls enough to kill Kenny.
You bastards. Sorry, I can't. Every time you say kill Kenny, I can't help but yell, you bastards.
I don't think they have the balls enough to do that. They're not going to kill off Jade, and they're not going to kill off Tabitha. That's the main people right there. You know what I mean? I don't think they have balls enough to kill off Victor.
Jade could die.
I think he could die next season, in the final season.
I agree.
But I don't think they're going to go into the final season without him.
Let's play a weird game here and talk about the craziest, most interesting ways they could end the season. For me, one of the craziest ways would be Boyd having to kill Jade. Because Jade is going nuts and putting a lot of people in danger or something like that. And then Boyd being ostracized because of that situation or something like that. A main character, Big, having to die. Boyd having to make another huge, tough decision. Victor killing his father.
I'd like them to kill Jade and the Man in Yellow take his shape.
Ooh, that might be. That would definitely be very lost, but they could do something like that for sure.
I'd like them to do that. Take him out. Take out Tabitha and have the Man in Yellow take her shape. I want to see the Man in Yellow come back, but I think he's not making it. I think it's over, one done. And because every one of these creatures that they ever deal with, it's always a one and done situation. They never go to the next season with the same threat, whether it's a nightmare threat or going to sleep threat. I mean, you had to get rid of that. You can't have these townspeople awake for fucking 2 seasons.
Yeah, I kind of wish we got a little bit more with the doll. That was kind of cool. The
doll was with him, but that's done. You know what I mean? But no, I think you're right. They're all gonna go into the tunnels and get slaughtered down there. Yep. Hopefully, that's what I hope happens. I hope they all go down there.
Survivors, 1 or 2 survivors, Boyd and somebody else, maybe.
Yeah, it's gonna be Boyd and Jade make it out, and everyone else dies. Hopefully. And I hope Acosta don't.
That would mean your girl dies.
She doesn't go. She's not going in the tunnel.
She's 100% going.
No, she's not going in the tunnel. She's staying back. They can't have everyone go in the tunnel. She's got to stay back.
She's a cop. She's going. He already said it. This is one of those things that I almost would bet you a chip that she goes in those tunnels.
She's not going. She's a cop. She's doing an investigation in there.
And he's good. And he's going to bring her down because she knows how to operate a weapon. And he's gonna give her a gun to use because
the weapons don't work.
But they still can make noise and cause a distraction. They're still gonna
do noise and distraction.
Those idiots are good, Tony. Those idiots, whether they work or not, are gonna fucking draw the guns on these things.
She doesn't need to go in there. There's no need to bring her in there. There's no need to go down
She's
there.
Going. She is 100% going.
If she goes, she's gonna die.
Yes.
What are you saying is so happy for?
I'm not saying because in this. I'm not saying it happy.
I know a happy yes. That was a Marv Albert yes. That was yes. That's one of those.
Yes. No, that was a happy that you're protecting your girl, not a happy yes that she's gonna die. It was the rationalization for your girl there. Because you know she's going. They had that scene. I'm gonna use your own logic. We don't have a scene with her saying, you know you need me down there, and him saying, I'm gonna talk to you about that later. Of course you're coming. Basically, she's going. She's unfortunately she may survive. She may be the one other survivor besides him, but unfortunately. Your girl's going down in that hole, dude.
She don't need to go. She needs to stay back.
Your Phil's about to lose connection. I'm about to give you disconnected again.
I would see if I was in from. I'd be like, baby, you ain't going, and that would just be it.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying she should go. I'm saying the show is told.
I said, baby, I'd be like, baby, I need you to guard this door for me when I get back. All right, just make sure the path is clear for me when I come back. And that's the way I would do it and keep out. And I'm going down there.
So let's get into this. Let's take
because you can't have Ellis go down there because he'll shut the door on everybody in the hole.
Oh, he's not going.
Ellis will run out and close the door behind him and shut everybody up in that.
We could almost simulate the scene between Boyd and Ellis. You stay with Fatima. She needs you. You don't have to go. I don't want you to go.
Yeah, because he'll run away and then shut the door behind him and lock everyone in there. That's how he gets down. We've already been proven. We've seen him do it. So that's how he gets down.
Tony, before tonight's episode, in case any forward motion happens on this particular subject, who are your picks? Who do you think is going on down in the hole? Or good? I keep saying the hole, the tunnels.
Boyd, Jade.
Yep, Boyd, Jade.
Sarah.
Yep, I'm with you on all three. So
Randall.
Probably Captain America's probably going to.
They showed him at the door. They showed him at the door for a reason.
Yeah, because I'm Randall. I break down doors.
Some people that we don't know of.
Yeah, at least one or two red shirts.
Yeah, red shirts. Some red shirts in there.
Reggie too, Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, maybe Victor.
Yeah,
but there has to be people because I think what they're trying to do and everything else. You know what I mean? Like they're trying to distract the monsters in one spot, have them go somewhere else so that they can go and go down there, right? That's the plan. From what I'm thinking they're gonna do, the plan will be Fatima's going to be able to locate Smile Monster. Maybe they use her as a beacon outside, so the Smile Monster knows where she's gonna be. He's able to sense her. They track them to Fatima, right? So all the monsters go to her. Once she sees Smile Monster, then she could alert them through a walkie-talkie or something and say, I mean, they got all these other 80s things. They got to have a walkie-talkie, right?
Yeah, they got to have those Fisher-Price.
You got to have them. So they have a walkie-talkie down there, I would assume. Then she says, all right, they're by me. It's clear. Go. They all go down in there. And then when they get in there, the walkie-talkie loses reception or something like that.
And the whole thing is going to fail because Sophia is in on the whole situation.
Yeah.
Unless Tabitha runs
at the last who's going to be the distraction? It's going to be her. They're not going to leave her by herself. So you probably have Ellis with her as a distraction. Her, Ellis down there. Kenny's going to go. Kenny's going down there with Boyd.
I'm staying with Fatima by the barn.
Yeah, Kenny's going to go. I can see Kenny closing the door, pulling the whole door, and staying behind the whole door in the door, and letting Boyd get away,
letting everybody else get out.
Yeah, and Kenny goes out that
way.
But
to your question about earlier, will they do that with after Kenny survived so heroically? Are they going to legitimately do the Walking Dead thing, where dude almost dies one episode and then survives under the dumpster and then goes to the other thing?
Yeah, but they did that in multiple seasons, right? With Glenn, they didn't do it all in the same season.
It was the same season. It was. I mean, they killed him at the beginning of the next season, but it
was the next season when he was there. He didn't die.
But they caught him in it was a cliffhanger. They had them all lined up, and then they killed him at the beginning of the next season. Yeah, okay, so it was 2 episodes later, but yes, it was the next season.
It was the next season, though.
It was. You're right about that. You're right about that. You're right about that.
You know what I mean?
Ding. Yeah, you're right.
You know, so I don't know if they do it. I just don't know if they have the balls to do it to Kenny. If they have the balls of going to next season without Kenny being in the show. That's what you got to look at. Like they got to be looking at like who do they want? And let me say something too. You know, listen, I am sure a lot of these aren't the same factors, right? But we know from Game of Thrones. So let me give you a Game of Thrones story about it. I just want to show you that the people who write shows are human also, right? I don't want you to ever look at them and think that they're not human beings and they don't have human emotions. So in the character who plays Sir Barristan Selmy, all right, he dies by the harpies in the season. And the actor is upset about it.
Because it was stupid.
And then he goes to the showrunners and he's like, listen, he's not dead in the books yet. He's not dead in the books. He does it and goes through this whole thing. So the showrunners do an interview and they say specifically, they don't say it's him, but you know they're talking about him, that they were so happy that they killed this person off because he annoyed them so much about them killing him off and he wasn't supposed to be killed off, that it took them pleasure in killing this guy off because of that. Because of this guy going to him, bitching that he shouldn't die that season because he's still alive in the books. It made them want to kill him even more. So I'm just saying this to say that these people, I'm not saying that they hold a grudge against you or you piss them off on set, they may kill you. But if you're friends with them and they genuinely like you, like they become buddies with you, they may keep you around a little longer so you can get that paycheck.
Maybe. And I do want to add, Lost wrote people off that got drunk driving and shit like that and fucked up. Like Lost killed people off for being assholes. But I think the worst thing that ever happened to television, I'm sorry to say this, and people are going to hate me for this. The worst thing that ever happened, and I think it came from The Walking Dead and partially Game of Thrones too, but more The Walking Dead, when people are like, if Daryl dies, we riot. That whole philosophy is like, has been projected onto TV now. So where showrunners, I think, are deathly afraid to kill main characters right now. Like we have to protect the main characters because we don't want the fans to riot. We're going to have a whole petition issued to the base that says we need to bring back this character. We need to bring back Ned Stark. It's not fair. You know, like and I think sometimes showrunners are scared of that because it's the Daryl dies, we riot crowd. And I hate that shit. I like kill the main characters.
And I'm gonna say, Luna Cascade, she goes, what's the purpose? Thank you for the super chat. She goes, what's the purpose? What up to my man Reels? I seen him out there for a second in the chat. I think he's driving home right now from the studio. What up, brother? What's the purpose of the golem? Why do they keep giving Fatima lame storylines? I don't know. I don't know why they had her do it. I don't think, I mean, unless somehow it's connected to Smile Monster, her being able to see Smile Monster, to me, it's really was unimportant.
Tony, do you know what that golem is now? A smelly, rotten thing that's going to seep through the floor because she didn't put it on the first floor. And the people that are below are going to get like shit on their head. And I don't think we're ever going to see it again. I don't think the golem's going to come into play again.
Yeah, I mean, unless it has that, it's a stupid storyline for her to do it. Really, I understand what they're saying, that she needs to believe in magic. I think more of it, to me, when I hear her say she needs to believe in magic, it's more proof that there is no magic here, because she's saying she needs to believe in
power from it. She had power from birthing.
I think she already had the smile power before.
Yeah, from birthing him and sharing fluids with him.
So no, I don't know why. It was just I don't know why. They lamed her down too. I would say Sarah has been nerfed. Chrissy didn't really do a lot anyway, but once she wasn't a love interest for Kenny, or they didn't play the love triangle up at all, it was just like, my girl's here, fuck you, Kenny, like over. Like it's not even a question. Like it was not even like, she hasn't even like hinted like, I missed the time we spent with you, Kenny. Like it's no soap in this.
They had a half a scene when Marielle first showed up and then they just ditched it.
It's done. I'm not shit. As Marielle showed up, the next scene they showed her, she was naked in bed with her wearing a dress. It was over. It was just a done deal. I mean, they didn't give Kenny had no chance. Whatever Marielle does, she does so swell that she didn't think about Kenny anymore. Before she was talking about, oh, I want to I don't know if I want to go home to my fiance or if I want to go around the world with the best guy I ever met. Whatever she did to her in there, she never thought about that shit again.
She was just lying to Kenny. That's rationalizing to herself being fucking stuck there. Like, you know, she never wanted.
She never thought about that shit whatsoever again. Marielle put it on her. And that was the end of that shit. All those things came out. And that's just that. All those feelings for Kenny was gone. So the fact that they didn't play that out or do anything about that and everything else, and they just had Kenny pissed off about it until she got her foot caught in the bear trap, and then he started caring again. But besides that, he was just all pissed off and mad about it and stuff. You know what you mad for, bro? You fell in love with a chick with a fiance. Why you? That's on you. If you and anybody out there, if you fall in love with a chick or a man who's engaged and married, and you feel hurt because they go to that person that they already been with, that's on you. There's no poor Kenny. That's a stupid choice. You picked the wrong person. You should have respected their vows. You should have respected her ring on her finger. You had no respect for her fiance or the ring on her finger, so you get what you get. And that's what happens when you disrespect stuff. So there's no poor Kenny when it comes to that. You want to say poor Kenny because he lost his parents, fine. But not no poor Kenny in love. He made bad decisions. There's a billion bitches out there. He should have messed with that Alabaster dragon riding chick. That's the one he should have.
Poor Kenny because he didn't pay attention enough to his dad and he sucks at chess. Poor Kenny.
Yeah.
He could have been better at chess. Like if he just paid attention to his dad, Kenny, just pay attention to your dad. You'd be better at chess.
I see people, I've seen it in my whole life, man. Like I've seen it in my whole life. People have affairs with people. And then they break the affair off before that person finds out. And they say, listen, I love my husband or whatever it is. And I'm going back to him. And I don't want to be with you. It's fun when we have, but this is where my life is at. And people get upset about that. You have no reason to get upset. You have no reason to get up. You put yourself in that stupid situation.
I gotta jump on something that, yes, but in that situation, Kenny was in prison. It was like prison rules, but Mary L showed up in the prison. It's like an Orange is the New Black. Piper could do whatever she wants. Once Voss showed up, once Donna from that 70s show showed up, it's like that's her girl, and they ended up together after a while. It doesn't matter what she wanted to do with anybody else with.
That was her main squeeze. That's what it was. They
were just together. Like once your girl's in there, prison rules are off. Once it's a different situation.
And that's just what it is. Kenny should have laid the he probably didn't have a chance to, but it probably wouldn't have been as effective as whatever Marielle did. Marielle's effective, period. And that's it. Marielle's game is more vicious than Kenny's could ever be. And that's just the bottom line. And that's just the way it goes. I mean, I can't call it any other way. But in the end, what we're talking about, wrapping back around to this episode coming up and this season and everything else, you know what I mean? You have no choice but to kill some of these main people.
If they don't, and because we said this last season, they backed themselves into a bit of a corner going into the final season here, because it also, I don't want to see a Shakespearean final act thing happen where just in the final act, final 2 episodes, everyone dies like quickly. I think that also doesn't give justice to some of the characters, and it makes it feel sort of assembly line, like, okay, take your bow, you're out. Take your bow, you're out. I think the characters, some of the main ones, deserve a final episode, to go out big, go out strong, and sort of have it be their moment. So, and not all just piled in at the end, unless we're in a situation where everyone survives. And I don't think we're in that kind of situation. I agree with you. You said this in another stream recently. I think they get out, but I want a bittersweet ending of some sort. It can't be Boyd. They're hinting at Boyd sacrificing himself to let people leave. That does kind of go with Lost a little bit, where the main character kind of sacrifices himself or doesn't make it through. But I don't know. I do think that Boyd needs to sacrifice himself for some people to survive. And I guess I could see Ellis and Fatima surviving because that's his family. Like they make it through, but people like Kenny, unfortunately, has to have a big episode where it's his time to go. Donna needs to go. Jade needs to go.
You think this? I'm going to ask you this. Then we're going to get to our good friend Lauren's question. We have not heard from Laura in a long time. Lauren is our good friend. If any people don't know that in the chat, Lauren is feeling as a very long-term friend. I think.
Oh, it's Lauren's Corner, Lauren.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I could. Probably known Lauren since over 8 years. I probably met her the first year I started YouTube. So maybe 8 or so years I've known Lauren. So
longer.
Yeah, probably longer. Yeah, no, it's very important and stuff to us. All right, but do you think that people's Instagram following would give these guys any weight on whether keeping somebody around?
I think I don't know about this particular show. I'm going to speak about this in general, Tony. I think at this point in the way that the Hollywood system works, yes. I think keeping people that grab followers, that get more eyes and more talking about the show, keeping them on the show definitely is something that a lot of productions will do. Whether From is like that, I'm not sure. Whether they keep people that are extra popular or just the main characters that are popular on there because they like the vibe that the cast has and they don't want to break it up, or if it's more about, not wanting to piss the fan base off or something like that.
Look, Kenny gets a lot of views on his videos.
He's going to be on Hot Ones.
Yeah, I mean, for that reason, they could keep him around because of that, man.
He's hilarious too in his.
I'm just saying he gets a lot of views, man, and that's
he does.
the only one who gets more views is Hannah. I think Hannah gets the most out of all of them.
Yeah, probably. If I thought
you know what I mean.
Yeah, I'm still amazed that Kenny's going to be on Hot Ones. That's going to be a big
deal to get on Hot Ones. Yeah. All right, let me say what up to Sci-Fi Vision. She just came in there. We have her. What? Keep trying to do some work with Sci-Fi Vision, and it keeps getting messed up. Keep trying to do something with her, but it always just messes up for some reason and stuff. Every time I guess I'm good and Phil is good, she's not good. So we got, and I know if we do work with them, we got to set it up because she's she does the OBS. So if we want to show, she's got to make a whole thing for us and stuff. But we'll see if we can get that done. We'll try our best to get this done, but it keeps messing up. We'll get. We got a couple more weeks. We'll get something going before it's over. All right. Lauren says, I just caught up. This season has been super amazing. Calling it now. We'll see a flashback to Donna in another place while she's dead after the heart attack. What do you feel about that?
That might be what we get in this episode. We might get some moment where Donna has some sort of reflection of what she's been through and kind of takes in the weight of all of that. I could absolutely see something like that. She could be we were hoping that we would get it through Reggie, and Tony was talking about that a bit last week about Reggie trying to talk to people, and I would expand that to say maybe he could have said, hey, I was in a fucking crow flying around, or I went to the Lake of Tears, or whatever the situation is when you die in the situation you can't get out, you can't move on. So I do think Donna, I personally, and maybe the next theory video I do, I'll get into this like dreams coming alive as well as nightmares thing that I was talking about on air a couple weeks ago. But I think Donna was dead, not like Flatliner's dead. I think she was dead and Boyd brought her back through the power of dreams or wills or whatever. Like some may be connected with science in some ways and some shit like that, but tapping over to another plane of existence. But I do think she's going to have some memory of the death that she faced.
Yeah, I think they need to do it. I think that if she actually died and she was dead for a second, that either proves or misproves this place. It either proves that she was dead and her spirit was trapped in this place and she's seen something from that, or she's seen nothing and she was dead somewhere else. I mean, I think that they should take advantage of that and do something, especially when you see, the Henry visions and all the other visions and stuff. And again, the stuff that we've seen in Tabitha's vision all hasn't come true yet. When we see her standing outside and she's got the American flag out there, all that stuff we've seen in that season 2, we haven't seen that yet. That stuff still has to be showed. They have to deal with that. So, and everything. So, yeah, I think it's a good chance, and I think that they should. I'll give you a little backstory before we go in about Lauren. I think I met Lauren. I was doing my Game of Thrones stuff, and I just couldn't stand it. Like, it was just terrible at the time when I was doing it, and I remember I was going to leave. And I was like, I'm just fed up doing this shit. And I just didn't want to do it. And I was just going to shut the channel down and call it a day. And someone told me, I was like, oh, this girl's made a video about you saying that they don't want you to quit and they want you to stay. And I went and I was like, give me the link. And I watched it. And she did this whole video about me saying how good I was and everything else and I should stay and all this other stuff. And the whole community treating me terrible and all that good stuff. So, shout out to Lauren for that and everything else. But I think that's how I met. Me and Laura became friends and everything from everything else. You know what I mean? And always no limit, girl, no limit and stuff. So yeah, that's how I met her. and everything. She cool people. She's a good singer too. She's a very good singer.
Very good.
Yeah, very good singer, and she's a great poet. And she has a lot of poetry books, and she does great poetry books and everything else. She's very.
We shared a house for a weekend.
Yes, we did. We chilled.
You did. I mean, you hung out there a lot, but you had your penthouse apartment.
Yeah, I had my penthouse, but I did go on the other one too.
You're hanging.
Definitely, if you want to go buy any of Lauren's poetry books and stuff, Lauren, I think you're in mind. Means you can please put the link to your stuff out there. She has very good poetry books and everything. If y'all into poetry, she does very good work and everything. All right.
I had my moments, Lauren. There's a funny story I could tell, but I won't. But
we have a picture. There's a picture of all of us together.
Yeah, there is. I was looking for it, but we'll play it at some point. We'll have a
yeah. We have a picture of all. I think that's Lauren have the sword to your neck, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And all that. Yeah.
Timo in that picture as well, I believe.
Who?
Timo.
Timo, it's me, you, Timo, Smokeahannes, Lauren. That's it?
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, that was basically our little crew down there on that.
Eating Jello shots by the dozen.
Mm-hmm.
Dozen. Now, see, they made who made those Jello shots? They made like 150, if not more, Jello shots that night that we had there, and we ate all of them. Almost all of them and stuff. I have a black and white strip that me and Lauren took pictures in the booth and stuff. I have that. It's in my bedroom on my bedroom mirror right now and stuff. You know, Jello shots of murderers. And then we man Nancy T, I think she says, bro. And then we went to Waffle House. I paid for everyone to go to Waffle House after. We went to Waffle House and we ate a shit ton of Waffle House food after. It was a good time. Good time. All right, back to what the people have come here from, and that is from this upcoming episodes. Again, we're talking theories, talking about anything for the end game or anything you want to talk about and all that good stuff. We have discussed the main characters dying, Phil. We have discussed that we believe that oh, Lauren's like, we went without you. No, you went there. You was there. I remember you were there in the Waffle House because you said it was like dirty, and you used like some Irish word that you used for dirty. You said it's kind of clanky in here. It's a donut, Tony Clanky in here.
That sounds like her.
That's what you said, because you were in there. And you was like, it's kind of, I forgot the word you used, but you thought it was like dirty in there. You're like, it's kind of clanky in here.
I remember that. You got me a grilled cheese, I think.
I did. I'll paste the link for her again.
You definitely got me a grilled cheese.
And all that. All right. So we talked about the plan failing, the big plan failing. We talked about a lot of people are dying on this thing. What haven't we discussed that we need to see? What do we need to see?
I mean, I think this comes down to we know how this is going to end. Like
we do, right? I think there's no other way it could go, right?
They've set up this season at this point. Okay, so let's go through everything. So with Fatima is gonna, which I like, is sharing what happened with her and Smiley. I do think Boyd's gonna take that into account and use it as part of the plan. This episode is gonna be about gathering forces all together. Ethan and is there gonna be any growth or anything other than set up to Ethan ending up in this place alone?
Ethan, what will be going on with Ethan?
Victor's going to be training Ethan in Tabitha how to survive here alone.
Yeah, that's just going to happen this episode. But what's he going to show him? Like, fucking, don't wipe your ass with this.
Right? Is anything? Here's how you eat peaches. How to eat peaches forever and survive. Is that what he's going to do?
Yeah. Don't eat these berries right here that kill you. This is poison oak. Don't wipe your ass with it.
This mushroom makes you trip. This one doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get it. All right, Lauren's on the building. Let's bring her in here. Let's bring her in. Hello, darling.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I have not seen you in a very long time. It's great to see you.
No, I've literally just moved house, and this is me getting settled in now. So, I've got my new setup, and I'm just catching up with my TV shows, and From was on the list, so I did that the other day there.
Oh, that's great. That's great. That's great. I'm glad you got your new place and everything. I'm glad you're happy.
And just to clear up, you guys went to Waffle House. I was fast asleep because you guys were drunk, and I was fucking knackered from the airplane journey over and overstimulated. I was sleeping.
Where did we go? Because I remember I went to eat with you. I took you to eat, and I remember you saying like Tony's place is what did you use the word you? It wasn't dirty. You said scabby or skank, something you said. Like you said something, whatever the word. You said it's kind of sketchy or something. You were like it's sketchy in here or something.
Walking into Waffle House with maybe Nicole with Smokeahontas, and then she's just like, nah, let's not do this, and then leaving. Right? I vaguely remember that. But
I remember you going out to a restaurant with you. I'm not sure if it was the Waffle House. And Lauren, my story about you was the night you were drunk. Lauren and I didn't know each other too well, and she had a friend.
That was the night you were drunk. Every night we were
drunk. There's one night in particular where we had to bring her home, and me and AK helped her back to the car or the Uber to drive. And somebody started yelling at AK and I for leaving her alone or something. She's like, "She's your friend." I'm like, "I just met Lauren today," and then Lauren cleared it up, and then the person apologized to me. They were like, "Oh, I didn't realize you just met her," you know. And I was like, "I helped her to the damn car. I just didn't want to go home. I wasn't going to bring this stranger home and leave the party." That being said, I wouldn't have lost my wallet if I actually came with you.
In fairness, right? So most of the time I actually wasn't drunk. I was just really overstimulated. I have been recently diagnosed last year as being autistic, so me taking panic attacks in the bar when you guys had to shuffle me off the AK's partner's car to take me back to the house, that's what was going on, because suddenly the whole noise, the whole meeting everybody, just very excited.
Totally. It was intense in there, and it was cool. I mean, like you were real chill once we got into the parking garage. Or I think
we raised the money to bring her across the pond to hang with her.
Yes,
that's how much it meant for us to meet her. We raised the money to get her and got her here. This really
is why we need to have a FromCon, because it feels like catching up with Lauren's like catching up with an old friend, because we actually hung out in person. It adds a little extra wrinkle to all of this when you get to actually meet people in person.
It was one of the happiest times of my life, actually, when I finally when I walked into the big Q&A. I was last to the party, and it was Ollie's at the table, and I should have been sitting there. But it's when I seen AK, because I'm really close with AK. Alicia Kingston, if you don't know, she's got her own channel. She does like reviews on TV shows like this. Very, very close with her, and I just burst out crying because I'd wanted to see her. I was just overwhelmed, and like I couldn't stop crying, so I just ended up sitting on her lap for a little while, like an upset baby. It was so funny. I remember getting her to try on my kilt as well later on, and she really liked it. She was like, "Why are you taking off your kilt? Like, don't you normally have nothing underneath?" I was like, "This is too fucking hot. I have to wear shorts under this thing, otherwise my thighs will chafe." You know, just the sweat from just existing outside in Tennessee was another level of like stupid. Scottish people are not meant to be in that sort of heat, not at all. And like getting to meet you, Tony, as well, because as you said, he's like, get to the good part.
Well, I'm just saying it's good that you want to meet me too. I mean, I don't expect the reaction you gave AK or anything, but I will say that this is what it feels like to people in the chat when you meet people after you've talked to people online, like we have for these shows for 4 years, and you actually get to hang out with them in person. Like, this is what it feels like and stuff, and that's why we really should get this con going, because you wouldn't have reactions like that. But go ahead, keep talking about me.
Keep talking about you. Like, this egotistical New Yorker, when I first met him, when I'm talking on here, my accent's leveled out. So you guys who are watching the stream can understand me, even though I have an accent. But when he met us in the house that me and Phil and Smokeahontas and that were all staying in, I just let the whole thing go and just started talking my normal accent. And this guy is like, stop talking like a pirate. I'm like, where the fuck do you think the pirates came from? Do you know that? Right? The pirates were fucking Irish. They were fucking Scottish. They were from like Haiti and all these other places. And I'm happily out here like, I know what's happening. He's just like, stop talking like a pirate. And I'm like, stop talking like a gangster, because he has that accent that is proliferated across loads of different TV shows that are here, that are like really big over here in the UK. And it's one of those nuances. And by the way, if he mentions that I'm Irish, it's because the dick likes to take the piss, as I say, and rile me up a little bit about being Irish. The man did bring me a present as well. He brought me a little present. Oh, there's the picture. I love that picture. That thing's the best.
It is the best.
But he brought me a t-shirt, right? He brought me a t-shirt. It was a Scotland t-shirt with like fucking a Celtic ring on it, and I was like, that's the most touristy bullshit on the planet. And he bought it. He also did give me a cap. What was it? The blue? Is it blue mic or something like that? I can't remember what the mic's called.
Oh, I don't remember. I did buy your poetry books too.
Yeah, yes. The man is also a gentleman as well as a dick. You know.
You need dicks like me though. You need dicks.
Yeah, we will divulge into the niceness. So, we did like a kind of Q&A thing. I used to do a lot of asking questions, which was basically just getting to know a lot of the different YouTubers across the Game of Thrones spectrum. Mostly because just to basically have everybody understand one another. Oh,
you gotta, any picture of me, Phil, you must run past me first. I have to prove it.
You're actually not in that picture. It's
right,
just your apartment. It's Timo. Pete,
that was the apartment. Huh?
Yeah, that's the view from the apartment. Like that's the bar like right there.
Who? That's not me with the hat on.
No, that's Pete Easy.
Oh, Jesus. Pete Easy. I love Pete Easy.
We were doing like a Q&A, and we were talking about poetry and books. Mr. Teflon here does have a couple of books out. They're children's books, and they're very good.
Thank you.
He's also written a couple of scripts and stuff. So talking about writing, we were talking about my poetry books, and I brought some with me to give to people, but he wanted to pay for his, and I was like, just whatever. Here's like blah blah blah, $20, whatever. This man outright hands me $100 bill and tells me to keep it. Live on stream. I was like, okay, fair enough. And like, it's really, really nice and very, very sweet.
Thank you.
He also brought me food when we were at the convention center, which I don't think I actually got to eat because I took like a panic attack or something. And yeah, I was just really overwhelmed with a lot of people. He is a sharp dresser. He does not pack lightly. I've never seen a man with a gigantic suitcase and call it quote unquote options, right?
I have to. You know, I gotta have, depending on the thing, I gotta have enough stuff. And I appreciate. All right, people here talk from Lauren, you've watched from. I remember when I first talked to you about this show, the first thing you said to me was, Tony, this show's about witches. That's what you said to me. Remember that? That's what you said. You said this show is going to be about witches when it's all said and done. That's what you said to me, like in season 2 or something like that. You were talking
not quite witches. It has aspects of pagan mythology, which does come along with a lot of witch mythology, like so Wicca, paganism, things like that. But paganism is also very deep within Scottish lore and within like Norse and across Europe as well before Christianity took over. So like this itself, you were saying, I think in the first season, it's like a government experiment.
Yes,
right? Yeah. And like an alien thing. And I was like, no, this is something much, much deeper and much, much older. If witchy thing is the term I used, and fair enough. It could be. We've actually seen in this season some voodoo happening with the eggs. You could call it voodoo and you can call it pagan rituals. You can use eggs as a form of life, and that's what you see the man in yellow / the creepy girl doing with the puppet guy. We've got loads of different names that harken back to either Christianity or to Scottish folklore or Norse mythology. And we've got some things in Indian cultures as well that are also technically pagan. So there's a lot of that lore in there. I think we're going to find something as equally frightening as the Yellow Man in Yellow. The as Martin said, and Boyd's points out, like it's the tip of the spear, the things that we're seeing. So if this is the tip of the spear, one would have to ask how far the show's going to go. If it keeps getting as popular as it is, will we have up to 8 seasons, up to 9 seasons?
They're only doing one more season, they said. That's it. Next season's the last season.
Why?
That they said they've always planned on 5 seasons.
They did announce a prequel though.
And they're saying that it's the
so technically 6.
This is the next season is the last season. That's what they're saying for this show.
Lies. You watch this space. This fucking season will be so good that they'll be like, yeah, we'll do a next season, and then we'll think about doing another season. It'll be in the fucking cards. Will it be one of those TV shows that goes on forever? I hope not. Right? Because last thing we need is another Supernatural or another fucking what do you call it? The one with the zombies.
Oh, The Walking Dead.
Yeah, The Walking Dead. We don't need that. It's overdone. We want something that's nice and concise, like, say, Dark, that's on Netflix. It's like a really nicely encapsulated 3-season TV show. Very excellent use of time travel and woo-woo shit. And hopefully this follows that pattern. But they've got too many threads right now to just make one more season. I don't think one more season is going to explain it very well. You've got too much happening.
I think it's a good chance that they end it, but then there's still some questions that it's up to really the viewer to solve, or what they feel that they would end it doing something like that.
Sorry, I was reading the comments. We'll see. I don't.
They get you every time, those comments.
I know they do.
They get people all the time. You start reading the comments, and it happens all the time. It's so funny.
Yeah, no, I've actually, before I was moving house, I actually was preparing a very long form video about From. So this was before season 4 came out. I had pretty much written it up as a big script, and then the whole house move and everything happened. So right now, for a sneak peek, I went into a lot of the lore. I investigated all their names. I investigated the backstory of their names. I investigated all the different places that are featured, all the different potential characters that may pop up or has already been shown. Like, for instance, I don't think it's a mistake that the characters have specific names. So Boyd is actually a Scottish name. It's traditionally like something like water or like a creek or a river. Something like flows in between something else, or carries what is needed. So water to farms, things like that. You got Ellis. There was something I stumbled upon with in the case of Tabitha and the father. His name escapes me. What's
Tabitha? Were you talking whose father?
Tabitha's husband.
Oh, it's Jim.
Jim. Right. So Tabitha and Jim had another son, right?
Yes.
So was it Matthew?
Thomas,
right. So Thomas, technically in one of the books, the Christian books, has a twin. I don't know whether they're going to pull that one, whether Thomas was a twin and was just born by himself, and there's only one loss, or technically they named Ethan after Thomas, or Thomas after Ethan, because the names are both connected biblically, and it relates to the show. Now, I don't want to give too much out because I want the video to be good. So, but that would be my main thing. If you are all so set on being so in depth in this show, have a look at some of the names. Just pull them up, have a look at them, see what they mean, because they are very much relevant to the story, and especially with the potential reincarnation thing, whether that is real or a false flag, because it could be that, especially if they're all. The thought occurred to me that they've all suffered a car crash and they're in a shared reality between places like a purgatory, where not only they are trapped, but the gods that are, or entities that are in this place, are also trapped because they're between places, because no one either believes them anymore or they've mutated into something else that's unrecognizable. A lot of spirits, technically, who quote unquote hang around for too long become aggressive, become unable to communicate properly because they can't get to where they need to go and end up stuck and become something else. So like a poltergeist, or like a demon, or whatever you want to call it, an evil spirit. So in theory, if this is a shared hell or shared dream or purgatory and they're stuck with other entities, they have the ability to make changes even if the place pushes back. So with what's her name, the Asian girl that had the demon baby,
Fatima.
Fatima. Yeah, Fatima. Fatima's belief and or connection to the smiley guy will be something that plays out really, really intensely. If she can reverse his let's call it a mutation.
Yep.
Then that would change the game. And how would the other monsters react to that? Would that create a sort of panic? Because they've obviously made a deal to be there, to be under the thumb and in control, to quote unquote live forever. But who really wants to live forever to be guard dogs? Because that's all they are, is guard dogs. They're not really doing much else.
Well, they probably got. I figure, if let's say it's a genie trip, like a bad genie trip, and they say, "Hey, you want to wish?" And then someone says, "Yeah, I wish for $1 million," and then all of a sudden there's 1 million deer inside of your house, right? So you get what you want, but you don't get it the way you want. So maybe it's a situation where that happened to them. They asked to live forever, so you're gonna live forever, but you're gonna live forever in this state, and that's where you're stuck at.
I think Donna would love that, though. If $1 million just turned up outside Colony House, she's a hunter. She'd be skinning that. That would be deer for fucking years. Everybody would be all fed.
She'd be about it. Donna would definitely be about it. And I don't think Donna's that desperate on leaving this place either. It's just weird. And someone did ask me, do I still think Donna's the mole? Yeah, I still think there is a mole. I'm going to say that it's a good chance that it still is Donna. So I'm not giving up on the Donna thing. I just think that she's still suspect to me. I can't get over. I'm not going to get past it. Just her having a heart attack doesn't mean that she's not the mole.
Someone's saying over here, purgatory does not mean in between. Purgatory is different to different people. Most people understand the concept of purgatory, which is this other place that's not heaven or hell, and it's not earth either. A purgatory is when you're outcast and there's nothing you can hold on to. You're just in nothingness. If this place is nothingness manifest with the ideas and ideology and nightmares and thoughts and dreams of other people, then that is completely possible to inhabit that space. If your consciousness is actually there and you're physically body somewhere else. You're in a different world. You're in a sort of purgatory.
And we've seen
Now,
that in the show. We've seen it, right, with Julie. We've seen
yeah,
in Julie her body's being somewhere else, and the physical body being somewhere else, and her being somewhere else in there. So we have seen that already in the show.
and I actually like the way they show that she's not just walking in and walking out. She's having a physical seizure. And from someone who has seizures, and I don't have them very often, like it's almost when you're out, and when I'm having a seizure, I'm not here. I'm full on doing this floor disco. That's what I call it, floor disco. Going full exorcist sometimes, but in my brain, I am somewhere else. I've floated off to another place. There's music, or there's. One time I've seen the boots of an ambulance driver, and the trousers. But when I woke up, I realized no one's there. I'm by myself. The door's locked. Can't find my phone. Another time, I am somewhere on holiday and there's music playing, but I'm in a place I don't recognize. It's pleasant, but it's not there. And when I wake up, I can still hear that music in the background, but it's not in the place where I'm at. It can be dead silent, or there'll be people chatting around me trying to get me to come round. So the way they portray this has to be based on a lot of people's experience through having seizures, whether vasovagal or whether they are proper epileptic seizures. These two different vary greatly. They're very hard to control, and they're dangerous as well, because you could not wake up. There's chances you won't wake up from one, which I think we might end up seeing with
Julie.
Julie's running a fine line between wherever she is now and the next few parts of wherever she's going. It could be that she might leave the plane that she's in and leave her body there and join the rest of them if they're ghosts. Like, I'm starting to really feel like all the ghosts that we've seen so far, and the Father Capture keeps actually following thing about it's an actual legitimate thing. They're just they're just restricted to where they are and where they can leach through, and they're getting better at it. But my only issue is, if that is the case, why has Father Catry got more connection or anchor to reach into the world that they're in, rather than, say, Boyd's wife Abby?
I hear what you're saying. I think that there could be a plane where those people are at, and if Julie is able to access that plane and somehow is forced to stay, we talked about earlier the monsters telling Victor that when Victor went to the town, they said specifically to him, if you keep coming down here, Victor, we're gonna have to keep you. It could be a situation like that where she gets grabbed, and she's inside the vision, and the man in yellow is able to capture her in the vision, or grab her or hold her while she's there, that she does get stuck there and she's not able to come out, and her physical body may just be laying there. She could be in a coma, or she could just be a vegetable type of her physical body, but her soul is captured by the man in yellow. It's the reason why she tried to run away. And we also seen that at some point when she goes in there, she gets physical damage, because we've seen her with a scar on her face when she's there. So she can be affected in there, and it does affect her outside body. So I could agree that something like that could happen. And I've never heard anyone ever tell me about what they saw in the Caesar in my life. So thank you so much for sharing that real quick. I really appreciate that. Let me get to Joshua real quick. Joshua said, I just don't get why Donna needs to be a mole when the man in yellow and Sophia is already one. All right, this is the reason why I said Donna is the mole. So let's go through it real quick. I'm still going by it, that this is a government experiment. If their experiment, that they have captured whatever entity is in here, and they've trapped this entity in the pocket dimension. Now, if you want to say that it's the man in yellow, I don't know if it's him. It may be him. He says humans are such fragile things. trying to separate himself from human beings, right? So by saying that, so if you want to say it's the man in yellow, let's just say it's him. They've captured this entity in this place, and they are taking people and bringing them in this place with him, experimenting with his genoids and everything else, and just crafting it. If that is happening, then you would need an inside person in here to make sure that everything is running good, that everything is running well. You want somebody in there. When we look back at the time of the people who's been there, it has to be someone who's been there a long time and someone who's in control of things. Donna has been there the longest, from what we not talking Vic there, but out of the people that we see, it's Donna that's been there the longest, and Donna is in control of Colony House. So it put her in perfect position to do the data research and measure everything that's going on in this place. That is why I say that if there's a mole, Donna is the mole. So understand the reason why I'm saying. I'm not saying you got to agree with it, but I'm just giving you why I believe that that's the case.
I would add to this, and like, I might not agree with the whole like government experiment, but Donna being a mole is possible, but she could also be an unknowing mole. So, for example, if she's already came across someone like the man in yellow, I'm not saying him specifically, but someone else, and been put under some sort of, let me see, like a kind of tracking beacon location, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody keeps watch through her. Whether she's made a deal initially, and then part of that deal was to not know consciously that she is a mole, that she is on the inside. Donna does have the role of control, but she also has the role of providing for people, looking after people, making sure they're safe, keeping the livestock of the town filled, you know. Mm-hmm. The more people they lose, the more detrimental everything gets. She has a big weighing on her shoulders to ensure everybody's alive. Whether that continues, I don't know. The heart attack looked sus to me as well. I don't know if this is just an acting thing, but it was almost like something or someone, like, I don't know. You know when you run into something that just feels weird? Like you go into a place and automatically the aura changes, like that. Mm-hmm. It feels like she smashed into something. That when I was looking at it, it's like, usually when you're having a heart attack, it comes in the arm first and then to here. So I don't know if that's an actual heart attack or something that was induced, so that whatever she's made a deal with could have a chat with her and then get her to return.
That would be interesting if they did that purposely, just so they could have a couple of words with her, you know what I mean, and everything else like that. That would someone's Luna saying snatched her, Lauren, like she was snatched. Yeah.
You snatched at her heart and her soul and yanked her.
That would be very interesting if they went that route with it and stuff and everything. I would not be mad about it. All right, let me ask you this question. Me and Phil talked about this a little bit. We're going to be off in a second because I got to get ready to watch the Knicks win this championship. Main character deaths. Do you think it's important for them to kill off some of these main characters this season?
Yes. They've already killed off Jim.
That's it.
They want to keep it impactful, then they would need to cast off a few. It's not to say that you won't see them again, because Father Catry pops up quite a lot, and we've seen Jim again as his ghostly self, his spirit self, almost at peace. It looks so blissful as well. Whether you guys think he looks sus or not, I don't think so. There was no malice in his emotions to me. They would need to kill off someone that's carries impact and it's meaningful. Like, Donna's heart attack gives us enough fear and enough recognition to know, okay, so we're done killing off all the side characters. We're running out of those. Let's try, start chopping off the other ones. From is a show where can kill people off, but not entirely. What you think is dead is not quite dead, and it has potential to come back around. I mean,
What is dead will never die.
each to their own.
What is dead may never die. Twinkle Toes 11 says Clara's the most. Twinkle Toes. I haven't heard Twinkle Toes. Only last time I heard Twinkle Toes was in the
Fred
Flintstones.
Flintstone. Yeah, Fred Flintstone. When
Twinkle
he bowls.
Toes Flintstone.
When he bowls, everyone, every time I bowl, I do at least one roll as Twinkle Toes. You got to do it. Got to represent your inner.
All right. What about the golem, Lauren? Do you think the golem has any importance in this show, or you just think it's this fluff?
Oh, I fucking loved that. See, the minute she started building that thing and like showed it, and I was like, "You are not, are you?" And she is. She's absolutely building a golem. I love that they finally mentioned her heritage with the djinn, the golem, and like the other things she brought up with her side of the world. These are very relevant things. We've seen things like this in shows like American Gods. Jinn are like wish demons in a way. They're kind of forming a neutral balance, whether you like want something good from them or something bad from them. But a golem is something that acts as a protection. Like, we technically do that naturally anyway. A golem can be a statue, it can be the spiky heads that are at the settlement, but the golems in this, as freaky as it looks, you could have done better with a face. I will say that. I will not be surprised if one night that golem's no longer in that room and it's off, like, fucking some shit up somewhere else.
Oh my god, I really don't. I hope not, because I could really see this looking like Jason and the Argonauts. And listen, I love Jason. I love Jason and the Argonauts. Watched it with my father. My father was into this stuff when I was a child. Jason the Argonauts, Sinbad. He used to watch all these shows. And I sit on his lap and watch these shows. So I love those shows, right? Let me get. But I don't want to see no. I'll even say Game of Thrones with their skeleton monsters, and that's a much bigger budget. And I don't think those look good at all.
You're fucking.
I didn't think those look good.
Hair.
Yeah, I didn't think those look good at all. I don't want to see it because I don't think that they have a budget to pull it off where it would look good. So I really don't want to see it for that.
I'm not saying we're going to get to see it physically move. It might be one of those things where, so like a weeping angel, you look away and it moves. You look, but you blank and it moves, and it's moved. It just jump cuts to, oh, it's in a different position, or it's in this position. Like, all right. It could be one of those things where it starts in a room, it realizes that Fatima's in trouble, and it moves forward. Or just she blinks and it jump cuts outside and scares the monsters away.
I understand. So
however,
it just shows up, like you never see it move, but it's there. It's just physically there.
However, I think that also that smiley face that she gave birth to is also a golem, because she gave birth to that and they are connected. So if it can feel how she feels, and she can feel how it feels. So there is an element of control. When you have a golem is innate to you as a person. The same for like a voodoo doll. You make a voodoo doll and it's personal to that person. You use their hair, use whatever connects them deeply to it. And you have control over that. Different religions, different things have different consequences for that action. It could go both ways. It could be that Smiley Face can control her too and just doesn't realize it yet. It's from villain SCP. No, but it should be. It should be an SCP because it's just mental. I've often thought about that myself. Do you know what SCP is?
No, I don't know no SCP is. I'm from Queens, New York.
Chat, do us a favor, go and link my boy into the SCP. He will secure, contain, protect. It is the best online story forum on the fucking planet. I don't know how you've not got to it yet, Tony, but I will be dropping you some links to a channel that I spend hours and hours listening to, and you will too. It is the best. If any of you listen, look up the channel, the Exploring series. He does mainly SCP content, reading the content for you, but he also does some like Lovecraft stuff as well. Just great for when you're doing the gym, great for when you're doing artsy shit, great for when you're trying to sleep, you're bored, you want an audiobook, it's free. Go get it.
I would say what you're saying is that quite possible Fatima built a golem in order to protect her. But in the end, the smile monster could be the embodiment of that golem that she built. Mm-hmm. And that may become her protector, may be the smile monster in the end, not the actual thing
possibly.
That she built. All right. We'll see if that happens. All right, the Don's got to get up out of here. I have to prepare for the Knicks to win the chip tonight. All right, I got to go outside and get like some steps in before that happens. Let me thank our beautiful friend Lauren who has just moved house. And
can I quickly say as well, like tonight is in Boston is the first World Cup match. You guys call it soccer, we call it football, but it's the first World Cup match. It is Scotland versus Haiti. And if you live in Boston and haven't been woken up at the sound of the Tartan Army, you're missing out. Go and find them. They're brilliant. And I don't know if any of you know this chant yet, but no Scotland, no party. No Scotland, no party. Okay, I'm done.
Listen, let's go for Scotland. I got nothing against Scotland. Let's go. Let's go Scotland. Let's hope that gets done. Let's hope that the Knicks can pull it. So Phil, what do you got coming up?
Yeah, sorry, I gotta get the effect off. Yeah, just get it done tonight. Don't give these guys any ideas. Coming up is tomorrow night with you, but if people haven't already, I check out my theory video. Check out my channel and check it out. Thank you for everyone that has so far.
No doubt. Y'all have a good night. 12:01 a.m. Eastern time is when From drops on MGM app. If people don't know, so stay up and watch it. I'll be up, guaranteed, and stuff. We'll see how it goes. I do believe that Real Theories and the Niggas channel is going to have a pre-party that may be starting soon. So if you're looking for more From content to get you through there, go check out my brother's channel on there. And if the episode's fire, I know he comes right back on after the episode is done. Again, thanks everyone for coming. Sci-Fi Vision, we will figure it out this week. I promise you. We'll lock in this date for you and stuff. Been trying to get this done for over a month, if not longer, and it keeps messing up. We're definitely going to get that done with you and stuff. Again, No Limit, Lauren, thank you for coming by. Truly appreciate it, and everything else without a shadow of a doubt. And if you like the way I do this, please thumbs up this, spread this across the realm, and of course, subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is.